What's good? What's good, y'all? Welcome back to Dad Beats. This is episode 15, and once again in Dad Beats, we talk about overcoming the challenges of being a creative producer, music. I gotta get this intro down, y'all.
Ah,
But
you got it.
overcoming the challenges of being a creative and a music producer. Shout out to everybody who's been tuning in. We have the entire crew in here today. Shout out to the King O Caesar. Welcome back.
What's the word? I'm glad to be
Awesome.
here. You know what I'm saying? I'm coming with the energy today. I'm just fresh out the bed.
Try to catch
Kids.
some preseason football action over there.
Oh man, yeah. Probably. I don't really watch preseason, honestly. You know what I'm saying? Because I be ready to get straight to the business. But I
I feel
might
you.
catch it. I might catch a game or whatnot. Fantasy. I do fantasy, so I'm getting geared up. So I might have to watch some. But yeah,
We got a
what's
couple
up?
weeks. We got a couple weeks.
Mm-hmm. What's up, everybody?
And
What's
what's up to
good?
Lift the Noise? Welcome back, good brother. Glad to have you back.
Hey, thank you. Glad to be here, man. Let's get into it and see if we can get some life hacks and figure out how to get our goals. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, absolutely. So today we're talking about a very, I don't want to call it a taboo topic. It's one of those topics that I think we all try to avoid it sometimes, but consistency and uh pretty much its impacts on your life in general. But as a creator, what are some of the hacks you use for consistency? And we're going to talk about them, I guess, individually, right? Like we'll talk about some of the hacks we have for staying consistent, some of the results we had from staying consistent, and then
Yeah.
also just really practical ways. I'd love to hear from everybody who's in the chat today. We're definitely going to lean on y'all because we really have a great community, of people who are achieving great things, you know what I'm saying, in their music careers and their professional careers. So definitely want to get some feedback from y'all and, maybe see if we can get some gems from the entire community. So yeah, man. Appreciate y'all for tuning in as usual. Let's go ahead and catch up with the chat real quick. See who's in here. We got the brother Ram. Yo, what's good, homie?
What's good, Ram?
Split X. What's up, peoples? The big dog Destructo.
Destructo.
Destructo
What
the
up,
man up in
fellas?
here. What's good, man?
Peace to Destructo. Glad to see you in here, bro. Shout out to Linda's son, always stopping through, showing love from Philly with
Always
love,
showing
y'all.
love. Yep. What's up, Blenda?
Yeah, man. I know we got to catch them Eagles, bro. We got to catch them Eagles. I haven't been up on the draft anything since the draft, so I got to catch up with that. Shout out to Andre Lee, sup gang. Appreciate you tuning in, good brother. B
Yeah.
jamming back in the building. B jamming since
What's
birth.
up, bro? What's up, bro?
Trader to the living. You was in the stream last night, man. Appreciate you stopping by again, man. Hey. And the big dog Ghetto Styles. What's up,
Ghetto
everybody?
Styles, man. That's my bro.
Michael Washington, what it do? Yeah, man. So just wanted to give a quick shout out to everybody who's in here today. We'll get back to the chat, and like I said, I want to interact with y'all and make sure that we're tapping in and using all this knowledge in the community. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna defer over to the King O Caesar because this was really a topic that you wanted to get into today. I was kind of scrambled in my brain. What made you want to get into the consistency topic today?
It's because I know that it's something that we all struggle with. Like even myself, I've been a lot better with my consistency. You like the more that time goes by, I get better with my consistency and stuff like that. But it's still one of those things that I struggle with. It's because it's hard to stay on track while you're doing things, when you have so much stuff going on, right? So it's like trying to find that perfect balance and trying to find that system that works for you, to stay consistent, because I'll be consistent for a while and then something to happen, and then now, like for instance on my YouTube channel, it's been probably about like a week or two since I dropped a video. And for me that's unacceptable because I'm trying to be consistent and do a video every week, you
Mm-hmm.
know so it's like what changes do I need to make now, or what things do I need to do to shift to make sure that I'm staying consistent, because I know that consistency is the key. We've talked about off air multiple times, like the power of consistency and what it does for people, and what it in any industry too. So this doesn't just apply to just what we do. This applies to to everything in life. You know what I'm saying? If you want to be
hmm
better, if you want to like succeed in the things that you do, there has to be a level of like consistency and commitment, you know what I'm saying, that
Absolutely.
you put into it. So it's like just being able to talk about it and discuss this topic, you know what I'm saying? I think it'll be helpful for people because I don't think that everybody realize like how important consistency is when it comes to, you know, trying to be successful or do the things that you want to do,
Well, let's
in
get
life.
into like a real life example, and I'm gonna put Raul on the spot because
Yeah,
he's
okay.
done something this year that I think is one of the most admirable things I've seen in our community, and
Okay.
that this man will stream at 4 in the morning. Well, 4 in the morning my time.
Well, yeah, your time.
But what
It's more like 1:30 a.m. around my time, but yeah, go ahead.
I think that's been, I mean, it's super motivational for me. You know what I'm saying? Like seeing you get to a point of consistency with your channel,
Yeah,
where it's like, man, one way or another, I'm gonna get some content out
all right.
and engage with my audience. And I just, bro, I've been just like kind of blown away by it because maybe it's because like since I hit 40, my sleep has been more more important
Yeah.
to me than when I was younger. But I just admire the fact that you know you could just be chilling on the couch, Netflix, and you know what I mean, until you pass out.
Uh,
But you kind of find the
right.
energy to get in there and do some work. So what has that done
Right.
for your channel, like as far as engagement and things like that?
As far as that goes, I don't know. It's a whole different element because let me just say that I think I've developed a consistency as far as YouTube goes because I've been at it for a while and I was making videos like one a week for I think I've been on here for 4 years. So um it's become a normal thing for me in my head, right? So I'm
Mm-hmm.
always, you know, I got to do something every week at least. Sometimes I fall off, right? Or, something happens or I'm just too tired or I don't have ideas or whatever it is. But I always come back to this and I think doing the streams, I think I've set this up to this point where I'm actually kind of lazy and that's what I'm going to admit to. But so making videos and then finding out how to multicam stream where I can just have everything set up. I have
Mm-hmm.
it set up so I can just pop at home, like come back from work, and all I gotta do is turn my MPC on pretty much, my mic, and I'm ready to go. Like the camera's already set up pretty much. So
Mm-hmm.
in that regard, it makes it easy to be consistent. And then I think the greatest thing about doing the streaming is the connection while you're live, with the people that you're chilling with, because it's like just hanging out with some friends. So um,
So have you
I don't know.
found that doing it so pretty much you're using streaming as a way of getting content out that doesn't require a whole bunch of like production work, right? Like but it is kind of like
Yeah,
performing. So do you find it easier kind of, performing in a way, or just going live, there's a certain kind of energy you have to put out to do it, right? So it does require some energy. Do you find it's easier for
yeah.
you to like perform than try to sit down and make a structured video?
Not necessarily, because there's a couple ways I go about it, and sometimes I'm prepared. Like I'll write an outline and I keep it up on a sheet, like on a little clip on the wall, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'll have an outline, so that makes it easier for sure. And that is kind of like a performance in a way because I have an idea of what I'm doing, but then it's really just kind of natural. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then other times I'll just have a thumbnail, really make a thumbnail, and then I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go in, I'm just gonna kick it and try to make a beat.
Mm-hmm.
So, like I said earlier, I think some of it is laziness, maybe because created this setup where I don't need to necessarily make a video because I can do overhead and like this shot right here, somewhat like this shot.
Mm-hmm.
So before I used to do everything on my phone, and I would have to, I would put it on a stand here so I can, talk to the camera, and then I would take it off, move it, and put it up above me. So I think it's easier because I don't have to do all that editing stuff. So I've become a little bit lazy in that regard.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, definitely it sets it up. But if you want to have good content, that's very important that you still have some kind of plan. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I
So
think that's kind of
I
a hack, right? Like where, okay, you're coming up with the title, like the thumbnail. You're coming up with the idea for the video, And what I think is
Yeah.
dope about streaming compared to making, like a pre-produced video is if you make a pre-produced video and people see the timeline, like they see like, okay, this is an 8-minute video, and then you have a subject and you don't start getting into the subject within like 10, 20 seconds, people click off, right? But
Hmm.
I've noticed with streaming, it's almost like you can come up with the topic, and I'm not saying you don't have to get to the meat and potatoes of it, but it's almost like people expect you to have to set it up, right? So if I, like last night I did a stream talking about the Rodecaster and some of my pedals and stuff. I didn't get to like cooking up on the pedals until maybe 15 minutes into the stream. But I feel like, and the
Right.
video's doing all right. Like it's, I think it's like 900 views or something since last night, which, for a midnight, stream, that's not too bad for my channel. So I think like that's kind of a hack in the sense of like having your idea, having the thumbnail, and if you're going live, realizing people are a little more forgiving when they're watching the content. They're not like, hurry up, get to the point. You know what I'm saying? They realize
Yeah.
it's live, and it's like there's a certain expectation that you're gonna talk a little bit first and maybe lead up to it. You know what I'm saying? Does that
Yeah.
make sense?
But
Yeah. It's a whole different element though, because you're having a conversation
Mm-hmm.
with those people. So I don't know. As far as do you think that still is true for the playback, like when people are watching afterwards?
Yeah, because and what I've done is like one of my hacks is on my streams I'll take the little red emoji, right, like the record button it looks
Hmm.
like, and I'll put that before the title, and
Oh,
I
okay.
think I do that as like an indicator to let people know like this is a live video. And the reason I
Right.
started doing that is because when people were live streaming on YouTube, it automatically did it. Like it put like a little red circle in front of their name. So I started putting that on my lives, even when the video wasn't live, because I was like, people are gonna watch it thinking it's live. You know what I'm saying? Some
Hmm.
people are actually looking for a live video, like they want to interact. So I don't want to say it's like deceptive, but it was kind of like it was a live video at one point. You know what I'm saying? So you're still going to get
Yeah.
the vibes from the video, but it's just, there's not this obvious communication that we have now where we can interact with the audience. That's really the only downside. But I originally did it as like a hack. And then I started to realize it was actually good for the audience to know that this was a live video because they
Yeah.
go into it.
Right.
And I think most people will draw the conclusion, right? If they see like a 1 hour video or a 2 hour video, they kind of figure it's a stream. It's probably not like like a produced video.
well, I
Yeah.
think
True.
that also has to do with the fact that people are like also know who you guys are now. And this is going back to the power of consistency. You know what I'm saying? Like Raul, you've been going live for a while now. So people expect you to go live. So whether they're watching a replay or not, they pretty much know the format that you're on right now. So when they go back and watch the video, they pretty much know it's probably going to be like a re-release of like the live video. It's going to be a repost. You know what I'm saying? Same thing with you, site. When you have like your videos on your channel, you know what I'm saying, but you have extensive videos, people know who you are. You have NPC gang and stuff like that. So when you know, no matter if you drop like a regular video or a live video, people are gonna naturally come in and check it out just because of the what you guys have built. You know what I'm saying? The rapport you guys have built with people, and
Hmm.
that goes back to the consistency part. It's just being consistent doing something. Like whether you're putting like videos out, Raul, you know what I'm saying, or you're doing live streams all the time. People are they start to look for that. You know what I'm saying, because they know that something's coming.
And I
And
think
when
a big word that you
yeah,
use is rapport. Like r- building a rapport with people is like I remember I like had like a sales training. I used to work for Verizon in the sales office for a couple years, and rapport was like one of the first things that they told you to get into when you're like talking to someone, because we would answer the phone and then we would help people with their problems, we would acknowledge their issue, and then we would start to build like some rapport with them, ask them, what are they using, how are their kids doing today, if you hear kids in the background, stuff like that, like engaging with people. And I think that's a part of consistency that I don't see people talking about a whole lot. The only people I really see talking about that is like Gary V. Gary V is always talking about, if you want to build an audience, make more friends, basically. Like,
yeah.
Mm.
when somebody's tuning into your channel, don't ignore them and feel like you're too Hollywood to talk to them.
Oh yeah, I
Check
remember
out
that.
their video, right?
Uh
Yeah,
huh.
he's like,
Yeah.
answer every. He says basically answer every comment, and I try to do that on my channel. It's not easy after a certain point. Like it's definitely a
Yeah.
lot of
It
work,
gets it
but
gets harder. Like even
Yeah.
for me, like it gets hard,
Yeah.
because
So
I
it's
be
like,
dropping in. I be trying to drop in on Linda. I drop in on a lot of people and try to like leave comments and stuff and just
hmm
it's just about being human, man. That's
yeah.
that's what it's
And
all about.
encouragement too, right? Like,
Hmm.
I think what's really dope about our community is there's a lot of encouragement. Like, guys will stop in and, say, yo, dope stream. You know what I mean? Like, I like how you did this. A lot of positive feedback in the community. And I think kind of the more you do that and the more you kind of engage with people on that level, you're just naturally going to start building like some online friends. You know what I'm saying? It's like, and it doesn't have to be this formal thing, but it's definitely a support thing. Like it comes back. You know what I'm saying? And I think like going back to what Gary Vee says a lot about this. He says basically the key to scale the key to scaling is to do these things that a machine can't do. Like a bot can't respond to people personally, right? So do these personal things over and over and over and over again. Make a commitment to doing it until you just literally can't do it anymore. You can't keep up with it anymore. And at that point, you will have built enough to have like a core audience. So I think that part of consistency is something that is just not really talked about enough. I think some people think that you just get online and people just like you so much because you're so talented or whatever. Talent is one component, you know what I'm saying, but showing up for people on a regular basis with, well, for one, your presence. Like I struggle with this. Like I told y'all, my channel, I had 1,500 subscribers. I went away at 500 and I took like almost a year off. And then I looked at my channel and I saw 1,500 subscribers and I felt guilty. So I started making more content because it was like, yo, I got to show up for these people who have showed up for me. You know what I'm saying? So, um, and that's kind of been my thing ever since, where it's like Raul, you were talking about, it's like it becomes a part of you after a while. Like when you got people who come to your channel to check you, the appreciation, if you have it in your heart, will kind of drive you to keep making stuff, even if it's not, even if you don't have time to make the best content you've ever made. Like I think 2 years ago, when my son was really little and taking 2 naps a day, I made way better content as far as like how intense I could get on my videos and how focused I could get. But now I think it's dope because my consistency now is like you're talking about, Raul, where I at least just want to show up and I want to deliver some value. Like I know whatever I'm learning, sharing that, I built like a rapport, like you said, where people expect at the very least, Sight's going to drop a jewel or two, you know what I'm saying? Or
Yep.
he's going to have somebody on the channel who's going to drop a jewel or two and I'm going to be able to take something away from it. So I think that part of consistency for me has been great.
And I'm gonna shoot it over to Raul too, because like in the next point that I want to make is like the first part that to me that's the most important about consistency is consistently being yourself and
Mm,
consistently, not
Yeah.
trying to, be somebody else. I think that's one of the reasons why people rock with, us individually as people, you know what I'm saying? And I've heard this a lot, about the brother Raul. That's why I'm gonna shift it over to him too in a second, is
Mm.
about just consistently being yourself and just consistently doing the things that, that hold true to you and the things that you love. You know what I'm saying? Because it makes it easier to be consistent. Like if
Uh-huh.
we if all of us hated doing production and stuff like that, we would easily die out and shrivel. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Because it's not
Yeah.
something that we love to do. It's easier to be ourselves and to talk about things when we're talking about things that we love, and not try to put on this persona like we know everything or do. We just going through the going through
Yeah.
the things that we do all the time. So like
Right.
for you lifted noise, it's like, I see a lot of people rock with you. I see that a lot of people rock with you, just because just because of your demeanor and like how you're like always consistently like yourself. And you know what I'm saying? we
Yeah.
know we
Wait.
know lifted noise is going to be on the site. He's going to
Right.
have some Jameson, you know what I'm saying? He's going to be telling it, you know giving us the jewel. So how does that play into like doing your streams and like
Is that
you know
something you consciously do, I guess?
yeah, is it a
Um.
conscious thing, or are you just doing it?
Well, I'm definitely conscious, very self-conscious, right? And I think that works to my benefit. And you can look at that in a negative connotation, because I think it does in some sense, but it does you well. And I think you got to be yourself, because eventually, people will see through bullshit. Like, I'm not going to pretend to know, more than I do, because I mean, I don't think it benefits me in the long run, because I'm here to try to learn as well. So I do approach that a lot of things sometimes, even when I'm doing tutorials in a way that it's like, you know what, I'm kind of learning this, but yet I can still share something with you, and we can learn together. Um, but yeah, but being yourself, man, it's easier said than done, I think, because you'll hear that thrown around, that phrase thrown around a lot. But sometimes you gotta, in life, it's really a process of becoming, or process of creating, or you're being created, if you believe in like a god. He didn't create you, you're still being made. So um I think that's just the way to look at things, to be encouraged, is like, if you feel frustrated, you're not where you're at, that you're still being formed into what you're going to be, or what you truly are. So
Hmm.
but yeah, you got to find that, and it's a struggle too, because even for me, it's still a struggle that's going on with me, because um it's easy to look at the numbers, and that's one thing I kind of wanted to get into, as far as like streaming versus making videos, because I could take some more time to make a video and have that whole thought process and edit it, and it seems to me, just from looking at my numbers, that those do better. And I don't know what exactly it is. Maybe it's not better, but just different.
You
And
said which ones do
um,
better? I'm sorry, I lost you there.
the videos themselves.
Oh,
And
okay.
maybe that's because maybe it's a concise thing, and
Hmm.
people, don't want to go sit through an hour long stream or two, or whatever.
Hmm.
Um, or maybe it's because you're actually putting more thought into something as well. But I think what's my point is finding that balance. Because I'm still trying to figure out what direction exactly it is I want to do. Versus trying to also, while growing the channel, and
And what I think is interesting
what
about your
kind
channel
of
too,
content focus.
my bad, I didn't mean to
Go ahead.
cut you off. Was like
It's all good.
I think going back to what O was kind of saying about it is your energy level is different, right? Like I noticed one of the first things I noticed about your channel is like your energy level is real like chill on your channel. You know what I mean? Like,
Hmm.
and I know lately it's been because your kids are sleeping. You know what I'm saying? But even
Right.
before that, like I think it just illustrates a point that some people feel like you have to get on here and perform and be entertaining and be energetic.
Like,
And
yeah, man, you know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Welcome to.
today we're gonna make this MPC live video and we're gonna kill it. You know what I mean? It's like
Yeah.
there's your high energy Mr. Beast type, type dudes. You know what I'm
But
saying?
that's
And
just
then
that's just Mr. Beast though. Mr. Beast is just
yeah, I know that's your boy.
yeah, that's
I know
come
that's
on,
your
man.
boy. Chill.
He just hit 100. He
He's
just hit
like
100 million too,
I'm
man.
saying he's like
Just hit 100
he's like the
million.
number 14 YouTuber. No, I'm just saying like he's such a Mr. Beast fan, yo. It's hilarious. Uh,
Hey,
I told him I got a Mr. Beast chocolate bar in Vegas, and he was a little jealous. But that's a whole nother story.
I was, man.
But no, the point I'm making is, I think like it's easy to like not start because people think that I can't, I'm not like energetic, I'm not like high energy, or I'm not
Yeah.
you know I don't know. It's just like people feel like you need a certain type of energy to succeed, and you really can see it in our community. There's really different styles of creators. You know what I'm saying? Like, Ricky Tinez, right? He's like very, very chill. We're gonna do
Mm.
this. We're gonna, you know what I mean? Like, way different than if you listen. I mean, if you watch somebody else who, So I just think that part of consistently being yourself. I've never seen you like try to pop out a character and be this like do a like a hype video. You
Yeah,
know what I mean? Like
you're not breaking
I
character, man. You're not
I
like
think I had one where I was feeling really good, and I was
you
really
were
that was
pushing it.
well,
excited.
that
But
was that 5 hour
yeah,
stream, probably.
no, no. But I hear what you're saying. Like some days I'll be so tired, but I just want to get it in. And I remember there's
Hmm.
a video that I recorded in this kind of environment that I have now, and someone posted a comment, and he's like, "Yo, you look kind of like down, hoping you're all right or something," you know. So
Hmm.
man, it's a struggle, but but I don't know what the point of that is, man. Just
Well, the
do your
thing
thing.
is, it's like with consistently being yourself is like like it because consistency is way harder than what people think. And like going back to what Sight said, like it makes it hard to like want to be consistent when you have like a certain persona about things, you know, when you think stuff is supposed to be like that, because that's part of the reason why I didn't start YouTube for so long, you know, is because I had like this perfectionism thing where I wanted
Mm-hmm.
to have my camera stuff all right. You guys
Yeah,
see how
all
I
of us.
am about
Yeah.
my, you know, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, you know, I'm like, I didn't realize that just being me would be enough, even if I sucked when I started out, because I know my first videos, I know my videos now are a lot better than the videos that I made when I first started, you know. But
And I think
it was hard for me to start, you
and
know,
I think
because of
a
that.
hidden benefit of starting and building the consistency, right? Because it's like
Yeah.
a hidden benefit that people don't realize, and this kind of goes back to what Raul was just talking about. It made me think about this. It kind of builds like a library, right? Like it builds a library for yourself where you can look back on your streams and see, like, man, I was in this mode when I did this, and I was in, and you know, when I look at my energy in my early channel, like my first videos, some of them I was like upbeat, excited, you know what I mean? Because I was trying to like, yeah, welcome to the channel. I was trying to get people excited about watching the video. But also there were some where it was just like you could tell I was just kind of like dragging that day, and I was, you know, just trying to get something out.
Mm.
And we all go through that, you know what I'm saying? We're the low energy days and we're just not on top of our game. But what I think a hidden benefit of staying consistent even through those parts where you're not really feeling good, you're not really feeling like you're making content that's very beneficial, is when you look back at it, it just kind of gives you a reference point. Like, man, you know, because you are gonna progress. You're gonna get better if you do something on a repeated basis. There's kind of no way
Yes.
around it.
No
And
way.
I have found that looking back at some of my older videos has been super motivational, because I'm like, yo, these people rocked with me when my camera looked like this, and my, you know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying, like my audio sounded like this, and you know, they weren't, it just reminded me people weren't tuning in for the tools, they were tuning in for the value I was delivering. And the value was not, look what I bought today. It was, this is how to use this thing. You know what I'm saying? That this is what I found about using this thing, not necessarily how to use it. And I think that's like a hack for creating a channel for you guys who are looking to kind of get into, you know, just creating content. It's not showing people how to do something, it's showing people how you do something,
Yes.
right? So it's like you could be doing something wrong, you could be doing a lot of things wrong, but if it's how you get the job done, people are going to find value in it. So
That's a
it's like you,
perspective.
yeah,
Right.
you can't
That's
be
valuable.
too self-conscious about not doing everything perfectly, or having some troll in the comments saying, "Oh, that's wrong. You should have hit this button." Like, that's going to happen regardless. You know what I'm saying? But then those people, you just tell them like, "All right, well, why don't you make a video about it so I can watch it?" And they
Yeah.
always
Yeah.
shut up. You know what I'm saying? Because
um,
it's easy, you know,
Yeah.
people, it's easier to criticize than actually get out there and do the work. You
Right.
know what
and
I mean?
that's the truth too. You know what I'm saying? That is the absolute truth. It's easier to say stuff like, you know, because like even now we do, I still do. I'd be like, man, you know, watch this video. Yeah, he could have did it like that and stuff like that. But I didn't do the video on it, so I'm gonna just shut up. You know what I'm saying? Like that guy, you know, he did a good job for what he did. You know, because
Mm-hmm.
like everybody doesn't. That's the reason why YouTube and like content creation is so important, is because like even if you're an expert on things, right, like everybody still won't give out all the answers, or maybe they just forget to, or maybe they just don't want to, because some people believe that the game is to be sold, not told, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you know what I'm saying, the reason why people love YouTube so much is because they can get different perspectives, and if you're being consistent on giving your perspective, you know, people start to like, you know, like respect that, you know,
Mm-hmm.
whether you're 100% correct or not. You know what I'm saying? And it's
And you pick up some lessons from the from the audience. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
with that, let me get to some of this chat because it's funny, man. Linda's son said, "Raul's energy is calm and cool with knowledge, like the guy on the couch from Half Baked."
All right. And I don't even
uh,
smoke like that. I don't even smoke. I get paranoid.
oh man,
That's
that's
funny though.
hilarious.
That's funny. It is hilarious because that's always been the outside perspective of my personality. Is
Mm-hmm.
like
They're
that
like,
I would be
yeah,
the dude that's always,
like Raul is just blazing up.
but no.
You do live in Cali, my brother. We
Yeah,
do live
you
in
just
the
you got the chill Cali vibes,
Cali's
man.
known for that, you know.
Yeah,
Trip
I
said,
understand.
smash that like button. Yeah, if you're in here and you're enjoying the conversation, man, do us a huge favor, please, and hit that like button. It helps the algorithm and all that good stuff. But the main thing is just making sure that people run into the podcast. 'Cause we really do this. We know our audience in the sense of, we out here trying to make it with these responsibilities. All of us have responsibilities, and just looking for ways to kind of just get our careers or get our dreams to the next level. So that's what the show is all about. If you can help us share it, we really appreciate it. Shout out to the homie Ghetto Styles. He said, I really appreciate the people who paid attention when I was brand new. And yo, it's very, very humbling. You know what I'm saying? Like when you see people who supported you, when your follower count was down, when your camera wasn't right or your audio was kind of weird, they were just rocking with you, and it brings a sense of appreciation that it's fueled me. I don't know if y'all feel the same way, where it's like it's kind of gotten you through them periods where you're like, yo, is this really doing anything? But it's just sometimes a couple good comments in the comment section will just kind of just let you know you're doing the right thing.
For sure, for sure, for sure.
Shout out a couple more people in the chat here. Ali Star showing up as usual. Appreciate you, bro. Said, "What's up, gang?"
What's good, Stolly Star?
Fade to Black 91 was good, brother. He says, "Does YouTube take your stream down if you're listening to and sampling multiple records?" From my experience, they don't take it down, but you'll get a copyright hit, which is like they'll just basically take your streaming revenue. So if that video is gonna make you $5 that month, they're keeping the $5.
Or they'll tell you to find the places and mute it, which would be counterintuitive. So you might as well just let them take the money. if you're making money, because you're gonna have to mute the stream, the parts where you were playing the actual sample. So, but yeah.
Fires always with the gems on your channel site. Much love from Australia. This is my first one I actually caught live. That's what's up. Yeah, I keep forgetting the time difference all over the planet. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's definitely hard to catch everyone. But no, I appreciate you tuning in, bro. He always shows love. I appreciate you.
Shout out from Australia, man. I wanna come hold a baby kangaroo for real.
We need to go out there. We definitely need. We need to get out there. Yo, one of my goals really with the whole Dad Beats movement really is like I love it to get to a point where we can go kick it in different places, you know what I'm saying, and have kind of like meetups, I guess, but just link up in different places. I think Cali's first though. We talked about it a little bit on the last show we were all on.
Yeah, we want
to go to NAM or NAM.
Oh yeah, that would be cool to go to like one of the gear conventions and have a meetup, right?
Yeah, but that wouldn't. I don't know if that would be like beneficial for our like listeners and stuff, because I don't know if everybody wants to go to NAM or something. So maybe that'd be something that we do, and then like we have a meetup.
Man, who don't want to look at gear?
I mean,
it's actually
I want to look at gear, but I don't know if everybody want to pay to go look at gear, because how much is NAM? How much is NAM show?
That's a good point. Yeah, I don't know.
I think that's like one of those high class like things, whatever that costs like a little bit of money.
It's much more than a car show or something, but that's a good point.
We have to figure that out, man. Because I think it might be a little expensive, Otherwise, everybody and their mom be going, So people be getting special passes just so they could go. All I'm saying, like, as far as the creators, they don't want to pay for that.
You might get like special press passes, and like we could use the whole Dad Beats thing as a thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it is a thing. We could use it as a thing.
The power.
I know what you mean. No,
the power
as a media outlet. You know what I'm saying? No, I've definitely done that before. So yeah, that's a good idea, man. We'll definitely research that. But no, go ahead, Al.
I'm just saying, but that's definitely what we trying to do is get up out of here and like, what I'm saying, get to meet everybody, have those meetups. That's been a dream of ours, since we started. I've talked to Ghetto Styles and you and Raul about like, we finally got to do it like in Vegas. I finally was able to meet Sight in person. I met Ghetto Styles in person, met the brother Matthew Stratton, like just meeting different people, man, like and like meeting our subscribers too. Like Like that's something that I want to do. I'm a very like, you know, person.
Yeah,
I
social,
like people. I'm a
a
social.
social butterfly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're a social butterfly.
I'm
Yeah.
a hermit.
You're a
Yeah.
I don't believe you. I think Raul turns up. I think he turns
Uh,
up when he gets around the right people, man.
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
It's just gotta be the right people though. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
No, that's a fact. I'm kind of the same way, man.
Yeah,
Um,
he seen me, but Sight seen me in Vegas. I'm just all over the place. I'm here, I'm there. That's just me. I'm just everywhere.
so let's
Mm,
talk about get back to consistency, but this time
yeah.
um there's an area I feel like we all lack in as like producers in this community in general, and we always end up coming back to this, and that's consistency of publishing content, right? And I think
Mm, okay.
there's
Well, what do you mean?
this well, all right, we're making videos, right? So we're technically
Yeah.
publishing content,
Yes.
and but we're doing it as in a broader sense of like as a content creator, right?
Yeah.
Really, anyone who creates music, anyone who creates digital files that go out to the world is technically a content creator. You know what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
all even if you don't make YouTube videos, you're still a content creator. And to be honest with you, the only way in this world to really succeed at this point is to build an audience. Now, it could be Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. There's no one way to do it. But I think being a video content creator now is essential. And it might not be
Mm-hmm.
in a sense of like maybe in 5 years, you'll have an avatar that can do it in like the metaverse or something. You know what I'm saying? But at
We're
the end of
really
the
going
day,
there.
what's that?
No, I said we're really going there. That's gonna be the future, the metaverse.
Yeah, I think,
Not.
if you're not doing this kind of live stuff, then you're going to have like a video game version of you that's going to
Mm,
have to do it. But any way you look
okay.
at it, consistency in publishing, and which is publishing is just a fancy word for saying putting out your work. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So consistency in putting out your work as a music producer is something I think we all need to do better at. Like because I
Yeah.
can I can make a few beats and I can make some videos that help with my brand, but really I'm missing out on a huge opportunity by not taking this product that I make, right? It's like I have these beautiful beat machines and pedals and keyboards and all this stuff, and I'm making a product that people outside of my core audience can enjoy, right? Like everyone enjoys
Mm,
music. What type they enjoy is the question, but everyone enjoys music. So why do I have this product, hundreds of them on my hard drive that I'm not putting out? And
so
I guess
you
I guess I
talking?
want to get into that. Like,
Are you specifically talking about like beats, like actually releasing and distributing your beats on all these platforms?
yeah,
So right?
distributing beats on a
Yeah.
platform or working with an artist to
Okay.
do that. But
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah, that's what I'm
But
talking about
but
specifically.
also that's something that you define that you didn't want to do, right? So for you, what is it? Is it like actually like could you take standalone soul and distribute that, or is that off the table as far as like in your mind something that you want to do? Like taking those actual pieces of music and
hmm
like going to DistroKid and then having it on like on every platform and all that.
Yeah, well, see, what's cool about Standalone Soul is it's basically like it's me publishing to a smaller audience, right? So like someone off the street is not going to buy my sample pack, you know what I mean, who doesn't make music. It's kind of
Yeah.
geared towards other musicians. I call it a collaboration pack, not a sample pack, cuz really essentially what it is I'm creating these loops and these ideas, and I want other producers to take it and finish it and create other things with it. You know what I mean? So it's like more of a collaboration thing for me. And even though it technically is publishing, and again, I'm not beating myself up too much because I put work out on my channel, I put work out on social media, and the standalone soul series is a way of me putting out work. But then I have way more beats in my MPC than I have loops. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And I think I'm wondering. Okay, two parts. One, I'm wondering why I procrastinate on that so much, and then two, I also want to ask you guys in the chat who are consistently putting stuff out on DistroKid, on CD Baby, or whatever you're using to kind of stay consistent on that. What are some of the ways y'all are staying consistent on the publishing work side of things? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm sure maybe I haven't gotten into it as much as I should because I haven't received much money from it yet. And maybe it's one of those kind of snowball things like the YouTube channel, right? Where if you keep doing it, eventually the money starts coming in and then it's more of a motivation. But I guess I would love to hear, from you guys who are in the audience who are having some success on that level. How are you guys staying consistent on the publishing side? That's it. Because I know we all struggle with, all three of us.
I can't even lie, bro. I got like I have hundreds of beats, hundreds,
Mm-hmm.
hundreds of beats that in my and like I beat myself up because part of me is
Well,
like, man, I just made this beat because I was just feeling in the mood to make this beat. But then like the business part of me, like the part of me that's like trying to be successful in this industry is like, yo, why you not putting them joints out, bro? Like, you know what I'm
yeah.
saying? Like,
So
No,
what is it
no,
for
go ahead.
you?
Al.
huh?
What is it for you though? Is it that perfectionism thing? Because you brought that up earlier, and I understand that because for me, I feel like because one thing you said is it's difficult just to get started, and
I,
in a way we've gotten started, but I
yeah.
kind of feel like I haven't actually started on what it is that I want to get started on. Like
Mm,
this is me getting comfortable with getting started doing what we're
okay.
doing
Because you want
now.
to do
You know
more
what I mean?
recording, like as an artist.
Yeah, exactly. And I think maybe I'm not putting beats out because it's not even really my interest. Although I've kind of played with the idea of putting out a beat tape now because I
Mm-hmm.
think strategically it would be good. And I enjoy making beats, although I don't think it's my strength. I feel like overall making like a production with vocals and stuff could be my strength if I put my work, my effort into that. Um, so yeah, what is it for you guys as far as like why are you hesitating to put those beats out? Are they not finished? Are they loops?
Well, J Mac,
You know what I mean?
he just made this good point. Spending $20 a year and made $5. And you know what's funny, Jay? I went through
So
the
you got
same
to look at
thing.
it as you ain't lost. You only lost 15.
Yeah, right. I know that feeling, bro. Like I know that feeling. Well, see, I had it with BeatStars, but that was like $20 a month. So that's a little different. That's like $250 a year, and I made like, I don't know, $30 or something. But $20 a year and only
That
making
shit.
$5 back, that's not, that's not a bad loss. If you think about how much gear we buy that we don't even like, that we end up selling, and how much we lose, like somebody will buy like a $500 piece of gear, don't like it in 2 months, and then basically sell it for like 250. So if
So you
we're
got to look at
losing,
it as all those streaming services that you have, like Netflix and all that. You don't make
hmm
nothing from that.
You
How
don't
many
make
do you
nothing
have?
from
How
that.
much are you actually spending a year? Like
Yeah.
thousands
yeah,
of dollars a year? You ain't
hmm
making
Yeah.
nothing from that.
Well, I like for for me, man, like, and I go back to this. It's like just believing in yourself, period. You know what I'm saying? Like we do this stuff pretty much for free. If you want to look at the grand scheme of everything, neither one of us is like a YouTuber. I mean, Sight, you're probably the closest person like out of our group who's like been, successful making money, doing
what?
YouTube and
Yo,
stuff
hold on,
like
hold on,
that.
hold on. You're not gonna get away with that. Lift the noise. We watched this man make like $1,000 on the stream.
But look, listen,
That
hear me
was the
out.
kindness of
Hear
one
me out.
man's
That
That
was
heart.
was
yeah, that was the kindness
that,
of the
but it was
shout
the
out
kindness,
Destructo.
but it's still earned, bro. Like you put in
I'm
the work, and your audience appreciates you. That's
I'm just
that's all I'm
saying,
saying.
listen to me, listen to the whole scheme of things. Like
Hmm.
how much money have we put into gear? How much money, how much time have we devoted? Like I I would like to say that we haven't like recouped our, what I'm saying, our investment back as far as
Okay. So
monetize.
let
You
let's
get
talk
what I'm
about
saying?
let's talk about consistency
Right.
of return on investment.
That's
All
what
right.
we're saying.
And bro, I talk about this like every week, right?
Yeah.
My that's my mindset all the time.
Yeah.
It's not make money, make money, make money. It's, if I'm going to invest in something, if I'm going to put my money into something, it needs to return at least that much back. But realistically, in my mind, every time I buy something, I want it. I'm only buying something that will get me back 10 times what I paid for it.
Yeah.
That's a mindset hack. That it's a business mindset hack, but it's a good hack to have, because if you go into every purchase that you make with with okay, mind you, nothing that you buy is going to make you anything if you don't use it.
Right.
So that's the first thing, right? Like consistency in using the tools that you buy.
That's right.
And there's when I spend my money on a piece of gear, it activates this like predator drive in me where I'm like, yo, I'm gonna use this thing until it pays itself off. And then sometimes I'm lucky enough to where it pays itself off in like a month or 6 weeks, and then it pays itself off again, then it pays itself off again. I'm like, oh, like, at that point it's like, this is an earner. I'm keeping this. You know what I mean? So I've done that with so much gear, bro. I've done it with I wanted to be a DJ at one point. And I probably put like $1,500 into the gear. I bought like this dope Denon, dual deck thing that was like probably $1,000 by itself, and then then I spent like $400 on the audio system, which just tells you where my priorities was at. But I pretty much made in one summer I made all that money back, and I think I probably made like $3,000 in DJ gigs because people were hiring me because I had a good ear for music, but I didn't have like the library. I was not a DJ, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
but I at least made my money back and I made a profit. And I sold the turntable. I think I paid 1,100 for it. I got like 500 back years later. But long story short, I never regretted trying it because I at least committed to making my money back with it. So I
Well,
think that's
well, Steve,
part
this
of
is
like
where I'm
investing.
coming back. This I'm
Hmm.
bringing the story full form, right? Is because you can't just do things expecting to have immediately, you know what I'm saying, gratification,
Hmm.
right? You invest in things, you do stuff, and that's where the consistency comes in. If you're investing in these things, you have to be consistent. The reason why you're able to reap the benefits or the rewards of what you've done is because you've been consistent enough to reap it. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? You don't just do things and buy things and like invest in things just to expect to get the rewards right away. Like,
Hmm.
you know what I'm saying? We do this stuff because we believe in the process and we believe what it's going to do in the future. And we legitimately enjoy doing it, but like, we spend all this money on this stuff, and and it's the same thing with like putting out, like, if like the reason why I'd be so disappointed that I don't put like, like my music and stuff out, and there's a reason why I don't, you know what I'm saying? But it's like, it's because, you know what I'm saying, like what he said, you got $5 off of 15, but freaking, like later on, who knows, like a year from now or something like that, because I hear stories about that where like something takes off and like Nas made him like 40 grand, you know what I'm saying? Like the Damani video that we had, like where he, like that joint was just literally sitting for a while, he said, and then it just like somehow it caught fire, and it was just like, then it was gone, and he made like freaking 30,000 in like 2 months or something like that, you know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? Crazy. You know what I'm saying? You have to just put stuff out, and you have to do things not knowing that you're not going to get the instant rewards, because like really honestly in business, if you think about businesses take a loss for like 3 to 5 years, and the government knows that. That's why they give
Yeah.
you like a tax break. They know that like for the first 3 to 5 years of your business, it's not going to be profitable, so they
Yeah.
give you that leeway, and you have to go into business knowing that too, that if you're investing, like most of the time you're not going to get a return on your investment until 3 to 5 years after you've done it. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
then
I can't.
after
I
that,
can't think like that. I feel you, but I'm hard headed, bro. I'm like, listen, it's gonna earn this month, and if it doesn't, I'm be like, it's gonna earn next month. You know what I mean? It's weird because it's really just a drive that I've developed where it's like I'm not going to lose. The Jay-Z, I will not lose. He kept saying that.
yeah,
Maybe it's listening to too much Jay-Z as a kid. But I just have this thing where I will not lose. I will not lose. I'm not saying I never take a L, but it's very rare because I'm so hard headed. I'm at least gonna like, bro, if something costs me $1,000 and it's trash, it's not getting me anywhere, I can't return it, I'm not taking $1,000 L. I'm gonna find out how much it sells for on the used market. Let's say it sells for 600 used, and I'm gonna go make $400 with it, and I'm gonna sell it because at the very least I'm breaking even. And that's what I'm saying. It sounds extreme, but that mindset has really helped me not like consistently want to invest in myself. If I know that I'm not going to let myself take L's, then you know what I mean, it's easy for me to invest in myself. Like, because at the end of the day, the biggest gamble I ever took in my life was on me. When I didn't, like, basically when my whole life fell apart, my divorce like 10, 12 years ago, when everything was losing money. I had 3 businesses. I did partnerships with other people. All the businesses failed. The only business that succeeded, that was still making money, was the cameras and the video stuff. I was shooting music videos for people. That was the only thing that was earning consistently. And the only difference between that business and the other businesses was that's the only one that was all me. So it was kind of like it taught me that I'm not going to let myself down. I'm not going to stop working until I at least get what I put into it back. And then I can pivot and change directions if I didn't like it. But my thing is, like, I'm not taking a straight L, you know, on especially something expensive. You know, there's one thing if you buy like a little $100 trinket, you're like, oh, that's whack. I shouldn't have done that. But that's not typically the type of stuff I buy. Like, I go out and get a $400 pedal, a $900 pedal. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm typically not buying stuff that's like, you know, like spilled milk. Like, I'm not worried about that. But I'm talking about like hundreds, thousands of dollars. I'm not failing, bro. You know what I
But
mean?
you had to put the time in and stuff too, and you created a process. You know what I'm saying? Like
Mm-hmm.
my whole point in the thing too is like, you know, a lot of people quit before they succeed. You know, like you start being consistent, you're not getting, you know, the results that you want right away, so then you just quit. You
Mm-hmm.
know,
Well,
you got to get out the mindset of that, you know what I'm saying? And just, you know, and a lot of people do, like, this has been my problem over the years too. It's like jumping from thing to thing to thing to thing to thing to thing, and not just staying with one thing and being consistent in that one
Mm-hmm.
thing, because you feel like you're not getting the results that you want in this one thing, so you jump over here, but not knowing that if you would have stayed right there, you know, you might have been like 2 steps away from like achieving what you wanted to achieve.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like, you know, that was basically like part of the point that I was making too, is just picking something and like being good at that thing and staying consistent at that thing. And you
Mm-hmm.
know what I'm
well,
saying?
let me get into this and like kind of bring everything together, because something we talked about before we even went live, and time is money. So we touched on like investing in certain things as far as money goes, maybe pieces of gear. What about investing your time in the right things, and how to know what would be some like strategies? How do you know that you're investing your time in the right thing? And then this kind of ties into being yourself, and like how I said, it's easier said than done, because we're still, there takes some finding yourself. So I
Mm-hmm.
want to ask the question to like everybody in the chat. um I mean,
Here's a good
do you
one.
do you do you know though? Do you know that you are a beat maker? What are you necessarily? Maybe it takes a little more digging to understand what you can excel in aside from being a beat maker. Because for me, I'm still finding that, and I'm trying to find the trust in like trying to decide that I'm a songwriter and believe in
Mm-hmm.
that, you know, and like with all the messages in the world and how old I am and all this and that, I'm trying to find, you know, just the certainty of, should I take this leap? You know, what is it? Like, how
Yeah.
do we invest our time in the right things rather than
Well,
just the same
Viral
thing?
touched on something here with this comment that I think connects with that. One T-shirt sold is like 30,000 streams, right? So if you keep stuff like that in mind, if you start looking at stuff like, okay, I've had this conversation with recording artists. You know, a lot of people put out music and they don't have a monetization strategy. And maybe when you say that to people, they think that it's boring or whatever. But I'm like, yo, the return on investment, the monetization strategy, it's what's going to give you longevity. It's the only thing that's going to allow you to keep putting stuff out. Is if in business it's called being solvent, right? Like, meaning you're making more than you lose, because you're always going to lose in business. You're always going to kick out some bread. There's going to be expenses, but you have to make more than you put out, right? So if you, as an artist, it's like you have to hedge your bets. You can't just go out there and say, okay, I'm gonna put $1 million into my album, into recording my album and marketing my album, and I'm gonna get it all back on streams. It's just not very realistic. You know what I'm saying? It's not saying it's impossible. It's just not very realistic. Realistically, people want to buy tangible things. So you have to have like you have to, and this is a consistent thing for me, is when you see me put something out, there'll be multiple components. Even my sample pack, right? Like, you know, it's digital. It's a digital asset. It's like a digital product. You can buy the digital download. But I also have, you know, the deluxe edition, which is physical. You know what I'm saying? Like, hold on. And I'm not just trying to plug my pack. I'm trying to making an example of how I
I'm
think when
trying to
I'm
I'm
developing
trying to
stuff.
plug your pack. Go pick up that you know standalone soul. You know what I'm saying? The
So,
deluxe version. It's
and I,
out
matter of
right
fact,
now.
Raul, I got to send you one too. I'm tripping. But all right, so standalone soul, the deluxe edition. This is like, you know, you got it comes in this dope like case. You know what I'm saying? It's protective. It's got. I literally went and bought a jewelry case, like bought jewelry cases for it. So let me see if I can cover up my face. It comes in the same case that diamonds come in, bro. Like this is a diamond case for people who carry loose diamonds, like jewelers and stuff. And I tried to make it like an experience, right? Because when you're in business and you're a creator, you know, it's not, and you'll see this with all the bigger creators, right? Like Beyonce. Beyonce doesn't just put out her album to download. Yeah, it's on Spotify and all that. But realistically, she has these merch packages, right? It's like you can get the vinyl, you know, the vinyl and the t-shirt and the hoodie, you know, for $100. Or you can just get, you know, the album and a CD copy of the album and the t-shirt for $50. Like my wife just bought like the t-shirt, you know, of her new album with the CD or whatever. And it's not that everyone's going to buy that. People are like, yo, why are you putting out CDs? There's a core audience that wants more from you. You know what I'm saying? So it's not your job to like, it's not your job to tell people what they should want from you. It's your job to give them options. You know what I'm saying? Like, and in business, it's like you have to give people tiers. You have to say, yo, if you rock with me a little bit, you can download my sample pack. If you rock with me a little more than that, you can download all three of them, you know, or whatever. You can download them one at a time. If you're really my homie and you really rock with what I do, you can buy the deluxe edition and get 7 of them. You know what I'm saying? And basically the 7th one will be exclusive. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's creating full experiences for the people that support you. And the reason that's important is because everybody doesn't engage with you on the same level. Everybody's not on the same economic level. So getting back to like the overarching point of what you were talking about, Raul, is make your music, right, and put it available for streaming, because it's like a lottery ticket, right? It could take off. You could get millions of streams and make tens of thousands of dollars like Damani did, you know, in that episode. But also, even if the streams aren't paying you, you're still connecting with people. They're listening to it. They're Googling you as they're listening to your music, and they're catching your website. And you might have a dope t-shirt design, because if they resonate with your music, they probably will resonate with what you're about, right? So you start making merch that aligns with what you're about. You know what I mean? If you make kind of like, you know, like hippie style music, very friendly, then you want to have shirts, tie-dyes, and flowers. You know what I'm saying? Like you just want to create, I don't want to say create a lifestyle. You want to create stuff that matches with your lifestyle and what you're about, and make it available to people who resonate with you. So I think like that's a key business point. I try not to get too business on this podcast, but you know, let's keep it a buck, man. You know, we have responsibilities and we have bills to pay. And the more we kind of think about these things that can give us a return on investment, it's not just the business side. It's about, you know, the people who rock with you, they really want this stuff from you. They really want to support. People don't like this. People are just like, yo, I don't want to go to Walmart and buy some trash. I want to buy something from a craftsman. I want to, you know what I'm saying? Like, I want to buy something from people I really appreciate and enjoy. You know, you got people that just, they don't want to buy stuff from China. They only want to buy American made products, even if it costs more. It's kind of that same concept. You know what I mean? When somebody comes across your art, and again, y'all got to realize we're artists, right? So when somebody comes across your art, they engage with your art, and then they look, and if they find more about you that they really like, they want more of an experience with you. And that's not just they. I'm talking about like me as a consumer. I'm the same way. You know what I mean? Like Nipsey Hussle, when he was alive, you know, God bless his soul, one of my greatest influences on me, even though he was younger than me. I lied to you not, bro. I wanted everything. You know what I mean? I didn't have a lot of money when he first started like the marathon brand and all that stuff. I wanted to go to his in-store stuff when he came to Atlanta. I wanted to, I wanted to buy the $100 mixtape, the $1,000 mixtape. I couldn't afford it, but that's what I wanted. You know what I mean? It gave me something to aspire to because it wasn't about how much I was putting out. It's the fact that, what you believe in and what you're about, I resonate with that and I just want to support it. So I know what that feeling is. So I try to recreate that for people that follow me. And I think as artists, all of us out here, we should be doing that. We should be listening to the people who support us and giving them more opportunities to support us. You know what I'm saying? Because ultimately,
And just building a, like, because this is where I see people make a I see people making this mistake. And like, this is one thing, this is one reason why, I don't even think that should be a question for you, because when you released your video, when you did like the freestyles and stuff and the music part of it, you had good engagement on it. And you also had people like giving you like basically the confirmation and in the comments letting you know that they was rocking with it, right? You know what
mm-hmm,
I'm saying? Like, what a lot of people do is they focus more on the music and not on building a fan base. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know people who have like that have tons of music, but they don't do anything to give it out. See, the one thing that you've already done right, Raul, is that you have an audience that you can present your music to. You have
Yeah.
7,000 people who are at your exposure to do, and more people, because really,
What?
like only 20% of people like that are
And I
subscribed to you actually watching your videos. So it's way
or
more
yeah,
than that.
20
and I
20% of
I don't
people who
know why.
watch you actually subscribe.
Yeah.
Right. But I'm showing you, I'm laying it all, bare. Like I'm going, I don't know why I'm going through such a struggle trying to transition, because that was strategic in a way. Because when I first started this thing, I was like, I just want to be able to do something on a creative level on YouTube. And that was my, platform to do it and be able to see if I can make some money. But I think in the back of my mind, and maybe a little more conscious than just subconsciously, I wanted to create an audience to be able to share my music. So like that's always kind of like I'm hoping for the moment where I can make enough, income to support this and have the right environment for me to be able to be creative and start writing music and songs and all that. But that's why I asked the question, because I'm having the difficulty, and that's why I wanted to ask everyone, like, are you a producer or a beat maker, or is there something more than what you are? Do you need to figure that out? Because we're talking about being consistent and being consistent in the right things. And I'm lately in the last like week or two, and I've probably off and on, I've been like, you know what? Because I'm always like grinding, trying to do something, like I said with these live streams, just pop in when I have a moment. But I'm almost like, let me just kind of chill when I do have this moment in this free time. Say it's like 1:30 in the morning. Let me just stop instead of going live and just work on something that actually works towards what I'm really trying to do.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but then there's also, it's just a balance thing, because I could go live and do that as well, but maybe I'm not necessarily at that comfort zone where I can
Mm-hmm.
like kind of really lay it all bare and then show you guys my whole process of me writing a song. I do want to
Mm-hmm.
get there, but yeah,
Yeah,
this is
that
just
makes
me
sense.
working out those thoughts. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because even with like my pedal workflow with the MPC, it's like I'm not super proficient with it where it's like flawless when I go live. So it gets a little awkward when I'm going live making beats with the pedals because I'm good with them, but I'm still, I haven't put so much time in it that it's like second nature the way just using my
Mm,
MPC is or
yeah,
certain plugins. You know what I'm saying? So there's
yeah.
like
So
a
it's still a
balance
little.
of, yeah, like working on your
It's a little.
proficiency on something.
It's a little discovery. Like I haven't put enough time in to actually feel like I have a formula for being
Well,
able to write. It's just like
uh,
either it comes or it doesn't.
Hmm.
Like maybe I'm writing something that feels dope. Sometimes it doesn't. So
Hmm.
there is a certain level of comfort that it requires, and still feel like I'm in the discovery zone and just experimenting with shit. So
well, you know what? I'm gonna tap into the consumer side of me, the person who like just watches hours and hours of YouTube and stuff. And everybody in the comments in the chat, let me know if you feel me on this. But if you do those videos and you put them out, like when you're like being experimental and you don't know, like, that's intriguing to me. The reason
Hmm.
why is because it's part of the story. Like, we went to Vegas, and the one guy, he was talking about like setting up your origin story, right? Like
Hmm.
doing your origin. Like, that's part of the origin story. Like, cite I remember when you didn't know, when you wasn't proficient with them pedals, man. Now you're a goddamn rock star.
Mm-hmm.
And you got
Mm-hmm.
them pedals going. But I remember when I was watching you, man, and you was setting up them pedals, man, and I
Yeah,
was
yeah.
looking at you like you was, you know what I'm saying, like you was a like green around the gills, you know what I'm saying? You
Mm-hmm.
know what you was doing. Same thing with you, Raul, man. I remember when you was writing them songs and you didn't have your process, you know, set out and you know, perfect the way that you want it. But now I just see you just ripping through songs, man. And you got your process down, and it's so nice to see that where you started and where you're at now.
Yeah.
It's all
No
part of
doubt.
the story, man. You know what I'm saying? Like the like we have to do better as, like, you know, and that all goes back to like the perfectionists, you know, and a lot of people, because a lot of people don't realize that they have that, you know, trying to be perfect. Like all that stuff is part of is part of the journey, man. And me as a
Yeah.
consumer, I love to see that, because, like, you know, I'll give you an example. Superstar O is somebody that I've been following forever. I remember Superstar O when he was in a like a 2-bedroom apartment with his mom, bro, and all he
Mm-hmm.
had was like like his little motif, and he had like his little studio. But you look where O is now, bro. It was like, it was crazy to see the transformation from him going to that 1 bedroom, that 2-bedroom apartment, to where he is now, like in the house that what he was able to do for his mom, the cars that he's driving, like just how better he is with the music and all the stuff that he's doing. Like, you know, like he really has this dream studio now, and like he's doing stuff on like a larger scale. But like I remember seeing him when he was that, and
Yeah.
just watching that and seeing the consistency, like going back to the
Yeah.
consistency, like his consistency in the stuff that he did, you know, like he couldn't do everything at the beginning. There was a time when he didn't have no sound kits, and he was basically doing stuff on what was that channel that everybody was doing stuff on. Like that's where Johnny Giuliano and all those, was it SoundClick?
SoundClick. Yeah,
Yeah,
I think SoundClick. Yeah.
everybody was on SoundClick trying to do their thing. Then next thing you know, now he's releasing packs on SoundClick. Then next thing you know, he has his own website where he's doing like his own VSTs and stuff like that. And
Mm-hmm.
he's releasing music and collabing with like major artists and stuff. And then, like, you know, he's buying, like he now he can upgrade to his house. I think he got one deal where he sold like most of his beats to like this agency, and they gave him, like,
Oh
you
yeah,
know,
yeah. I remember.
yeah,
Yeah, he sold like, I don't know, like a whole catalog of beats
a
to like
whole
a
catalog, and that's when he bought his first Lamborghini.
yeah. So no,
You
there's
know what
something
I'm
to be said
saying?
for like the journey. Like people
Yeah.
definitely want to get behind the
It's the
journey.
journey,
And
man.
I have something I gotta say about this, because what you're saying is very important and very encouraging, because I feel like having more creative people being willing to do that and show the journey is very essential. It's like doing a service to humanity, because we all know, like, the whole uh as far as like social media and how, it just paints that picture of perfection. Like that shit isn't healthy for us overall and as a
Mm-hmm.
society, right?
Mm-hmm.
So being able to do that and show the imperfections in the journey would it would be super beneficial
Well,
to humans, because
go ahead, finish it.
we
Yeah.
need to get off the whole, like putting artists on pedestals. Like, people take it there. They have idols
Mm-hmm.
and all that. Man, we're all just human with imperfections. We need to be able to do that so we can redefine success and we can all be happy, instead of like having this perspective that, these people are perfect. They live a great life and my shit is shit. It's
Because, well,
just
see, that,
overall.
that's why I was like, you know, because, you know, we do that in society, but we do it backwards. See, we'll wait till an artist gets like to where they are, and then we want to do like the biography or the back. And I always liked those, but I always thought they were lame, because like I don't want to see the journey after they blew up. I wanted to see the journey why they were coming up. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Like I wanted to see like how it was, like, you know, because that's where you get like a lot of the true emotions too. You know, you can fabricate anything and put, like, you know, you can take, like, you know, Beyonce's like biography and make it like this grand, you know, because you picking and choosing what you want to put in there. See, when you're watching somebody from the beginning and you get to see like the struggles and stuff that they're going through as they're going through it, it's a lot better. It's more raw. You know what I'm saying? You
Mm-hmm.
get like real, the real emotions and the feelings in that. Like when you're actually watching this stuff live and you're seeing the journey. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like I always like had like I wouldn't say I don't like them, but just kind of a distaste because I know it's like, they can put whatever they want and they can accentuate it the way that they want. But like me watching like Superstar's journey was like that was the real deal. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That was me seeing him like live. This is our subscribers and our people watching us right now, like live, trying to be consistent, trying to do the stuff that we're struggling with, like everything that we're going through, like we're putting it out there raw, like live for them to see, you know. And wherever we go with this, however far we go, people will be able to say that, hey, I seen you when you were here. I remember you guys when you were here, and now look at you. You know what I'm saying? Like it's something to be said with that. It's
Absolutely.
great. You know.
Yeah, and I think as far as like the audience, like kind of building an audience, um, that part is great. But just putting out content for me, just looking back at it, like I said, it has such a huge value to kind of look back at where you came from, and it's also kind of like motivational. So it has that, like you said, the hero's journey, I think they called it or whatever, where it was like the
Yeah.
backstory or whatever.
It's
People want to see that kind of stuff.
and
And
then
if anything, you want to see it. When you
yeah.
get to when you look back on it, it's very refreshing. I want to shout out a couple people in the chat. Shout out to the homie Masada. He said, "I wish I was on the show today. I could add a lot to this topic." Yo, let's do it next week if you're free, bro. I'd love to have you on. I should have called you earlier, man, and see if you were available. But definitely, yeah, I know as far as like being creative, Masada is one of those people that, he's kind of low key, but a lot of people in the community know him because he's so consistent with his work and how much work you can tell, like just from his product, like the consistency in his work. You know what I mean? So I definitely would love to, to get your opinion on different things with this topic. But and next week if you're free, bro, we'll definitely kind of chime in on, because I think consistency is going to be a steady topic on this show. Like I want to kind of ask every guest, what are the things you do to stay consistent? What are the things you do that allow you to just perform on a regular basis? Because we all have our hacks or our kind of like mindset things. So I would love to hear that from you.
And let's just be honest, man. Like as much as we talk about consistency and stuff like that, it's not like you have to be mindful and you have to be willful to be consistent. Consistency is not easy. Like, everybody treats it like this thing, like it's something that you can just do automatically. You know what I'm saying? It's something that you have to teach yourself and you have to, like, practice. You have to practice consistency to be better at consistency. It's not something that just happens. I
Well,
think
B
we
Jam is
all
my bad.
go
I didn't mean
ahead.
to cut you off. B Jam has said, when it becomes a job, then I'm done. And I think that's I think there was a conversation in the chat, just kind of like, people's motivations behind it, behind, making music and being creative. And ultimately, all of us are doing it because we just love it, right? Like music is something that it's a passion that if I never made a dollar, I would still be doing it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I think the issue comes in, especially when you're, a certain age and you have responsibilities, is how much can you do it? How much time can you commit to it if it doesn't have some practicality behind it? And I think
Yeah.
what we're trying to find here is the balance between doing something that we love and making it sustainable,
Hmm.
because some people are in a better position, right? Like, I think Linda's son was saying, he's retired now, and congratulations, my brother. Matter of
Yeah.
fact, where's that?
Boop, 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 boop. Yeah, I thought you was gonna do that.
Congratulations,
There you go.
congratulations on retiring, good brother.
Boop, boop,
That's a
boop,
beautiful
boop.
thing.
Using
I
that
think,
roadcaster. There you
yeah,
go.
we you know what I'm saying.
We in there.
You know what I'm saying. I think it's turning like a real podcast or something.
Yeah.
But no, retiring is something where it's like, okay, now I got some time to just enjoy and do the things I love, right? But it's like that in between time of when you're working full time and you got these responsibilities with kids and Even if you don't have kids, you know what I'm saying? Like you might have other projects and stuff that you're responsible for. I think making your creative venture sustainable as possible is just, it's just to me the best way to make sure I'm able to keep doing it. You know what I mean? Like, don't get me wrong. If like my channel collapsed and everybody, you know, I don't know, TMZ put out a hit piece on me, says I was like shooting zebras or something, and everybody's like, "Yo, I hate Sight. He's a loser," and everything fell apart. My whole brand fell apart. Fell
I don't know.
apart.
I just caught that though. Like I caught that late. You out here shooting zebras.
Yeah, you know what I mean, shooting like some endangered species or something, right? Hunting
Oh
like
my
the Jimmy
goodness.
John's founder or something, right? And like my whole brand fell apart. I'm a dirtbag, whatever. Nobody rocks me no more. I own everything I have. So
Yeah.
I don't, you know what I'm saying? It's like I don't have to. Well, no, you know I'm making a couple payments. You know what I'm saying? Like on a new Dream pedal. Maybe I gotta chill because maybe I. But no,
Yeah,
what I'm
don't be
saying
putting
is,
out in the universe. Don't be telling people you choking baby rabbits and stuff, man.
yeah. I don't want everything to fall apart. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But at the end of the day, you know, a lot of the stuff that I'm getting lately has really been from my audience. It's really been to make this podcast better, to make my streams better, like, you know, the roadcaster and all this stuff. Like all this stuff I'm really doing for my audience. I'm reinvesting into the experience of what I'm building. But if I ever came to the point where I just really didn't like doing this anymore, I just wouldn't, you know what I'm saying? Like I just wouldn't do it. And I think that like knowing why you're monetizing is important, because you don't want to just be monetizing to make it a job. If I, same thing, like if I felt like if this was my full-time job, I would probably be under a lot more pressure, and I'd be making a whole bunch of videos maybe that I don't really resonate with, you know what I'm saying? Because
I'm gonna say something after this
no, go
because
ahead.
this is okay. So this is Caesar. This is the King O Caesar with the accountability stuff. I rock with that, and we should all be doing stuff that we love. But let's be real about stuff. We're very consistent at doing things that we want that we don't want to do all the time.
Mm,
A lot of people right now are going to work consistently every day, going to work, and that's something that they do not like to do.
mm-hmm.
Their consistency and they're consistent of being around people that they don't want to be around. So be consistent at some stuff that you love to do, man.
Yeah.
That's why I have a huge problem with myself when I'm not consistent with doing this stuff, because I know it's something that I love. Now, like you guys said, I don't want it to turn into a job, right? I don't want it to be something that I don't like my job. And I'm not saying that I hate my job, because I do have a good job and whatnot. But at the same token, would I rather be doing this or would I be rather doing my job? No, I'd rather much be doing this. So I need to I need to be conscious and make it a thing to be consistent, more consistent at this, because I'm consistent at going to work every time I'm supposed to go to work. I'm consistent in going to do the things that I don't want to do. So like we have to stop like putting excuses on things and like really get down to the meat and potatoes of, like, when you really think about it and now like analyze all the things that you're doing. Like we're very consistent creatures. We just put our consistency in things that we don't want to do. But part of that is because we have to. Like if we don't go to work, we don't pay the bills. You know what I'm saying? But if you knew that doing something that you love could also pay the bills eventually, why wouldn't you try for that? Why wouldn't you want to be more consistent?
Well
You know what
said.
I'm saying? And that's just the like I have to brain the consistency stuff, because I do the same thing with myself. Like these are not things that I'm shouting at y'all, and Sight knows this because we talk. You know what I'm saying? Even Raul, we talk often about this stuff, and like this is stuff that I'm always hard on myself about these things. You know what I'm saying? Because you have to take a level of self. You have to take self criticism. You have to criticize yourself, and you have to hold yourself accountable, for things, and know what you're doing. Everybody has things that are going on, but what could you be doing, more? What could you be doing? Because, sometimes I fall off, sometimes Sight be like, yo, man, you need to get off that Call of Duty, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's just like everybody has 24 hours in a day, and what are you using your 24 hours in a day to do? And that's part of consistency too, because you have to know what things you need to cut out, and what stuff that what is really important to you is what I'm bringing it down. what I'm breaking
Yeah,
it
no
down
doubt.
to.
And it's good. It's good to be able to address or pinpoint what your intent is. What are your goals? You know, and then when it comes to this consistency thing, I had in the back of mind, I wanted to bring up is like, if you guys are conscious, like of it, like what is it? What are the things that stop you from being consistent? What gets you inconsistent? You know what I mean? And because when it
Hmm.
comes to like having an enemy, if you're going to defeat that enemy, you got to be able to look at them and address and understand who that enemy is, right? So I think I don't know, maybe that's a strategy for all of us here. Not that I have the answers, but to, really look at what are those things that are keeping you from being consistent. What are your goals? What are your intent? If it's not to make money, you know, then fine. If it's just to be able to be happy, like you're saying, like we got to be able to support this thing. And some people are in better situations than others, so you can do this regardless, and you make money fine from whatever other source that you do. But if you have a goal, what's your intent, and what are some of those things getting in the way? That's just a strategy, I think. So
Well, see, this comes down to like, and like, and I'm sorry to say it, but like part of it is kind of like a job, man. It's because what I'm saying, like let's look at it this way. All right. You got to you got to go to work, right? You got to go to work at this time. So you're going to be there at this time. But what are all the things that you have to do before you have to go to work? Well, you have to get your clothes ready. You know what I'm saying? You have to get your food ready, because you got to eat when you're at work. You don't want to be spending money at the vending machine all the time. So you got to get your food ready. You have to make sure that the stuff that you have that you need to take care of before you go to work is take care of. Maybe you need to make your bed. I don't know. But it's preparation before you go to work to actually do the things that you want to do. So like the part, like getting to the point is like, when you do this stuff, like even though like it's the part of the things that you don't want to do, you still have to do those things. Like we have to, when we do these videos, we love making music, but we still have to set the video up. Sight had to
well,
go back here. He had to do the thumbnail. He had to get the stream ready and stuff like that. You have to be
I did
conscious
I
of the
did not
things
want to
that you.
go live today. Let's just let's just keep it a thousand right now. Like I did not want to go live. I had a headache and all that stuff. But now that I'm doing it, I'm in the process of. I'm like, man, I'm so glad we did this. And I think that that's one of the main things about consistency. That I mean, bro, we learned this from the gym, right? Like, you ever had one of them gym sessions? You like, yo, I'm dead tired. I do not feel like doing this. And you go to the gym and you just knock it out, and you come out feeling like $1,000,000. You know what I'm saying? It's like after you get done the task, a lot of times you realize the value that of just going there and trying it. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think that even in creative stuff that we love doing, I don't think there's ever a time where it doesn't feel like work. Matter of fact, Linda's son talking about I'm on the PS5 right now.
Yeah.
There's been times I play video games so long, I'm like, yo, I can't do this no more. Like my homeboy's like, yo, run one more match, and I'm like, I can't do it, bro. Like it
Yeah.
was work. Like, you know what I'm saying? Everything, every activity we do, even stuff that we think is leisure,
Yeah.
is work. You know what I'm saying? It's requiring some energy to do, unless it's sleeping. You know what I'm saying?
Now,
Like
well, let
sleeping
me
now
does
when
let
you
me
require a
do,
address
whole lot.
go ahead.
what B Damon was saying, because he says if you're chasing numbers, then yeah, it's a job. So is there like some kind of fear that if you do end up making your passion into a business, that you're gonna hate your passion? You know what I mean? Because like O said, you go to work, you're actually chasing numbers. Like a lot of times it's just about getting that check. So
Yo,
are
sometimes
are you
chasing numbers
are
is
you afraid
exciting.
that those
Like,
people that are hating their jobs, that are like, like if I start making money in this, it becomes work, and then I'm not gonna like it. I'm not gonna love it.
See,
sometimes chasing
go
numbers is
ahead.
exciting, bro. When you get to a certain number on your channel, I'm gonna tell y'all right now, like BJM, I'm gonna tell you right now, when you get to like, I don't know, 5,000 subscribers, it feels amazing. It's not like I was chasing it per se, but when you start, you start with a goal in mind, right? And sometimes the only goals you can start with are the tangible ones, the ones you can see. You know what I'm saying? See the results. I didn't know my channel was gonna have this much of an impact on me as a human being. I just knew that, like, yo, it's a journey I want to go on. I see other people in the lifestyle that they have, and I see that they're kind of like their creative aspirations are being fulfilled. And I know that kind of fulfillment doesn't come without work. You know what I'm saying? So there's a certain level of chasing number. Like on my vision board over here, I have the silver play button. If I never get to a silver play button, I'm gonna be broken up about it? No, not really. But that's a number. That's 100,000 subscribers, right? So
Yeah.
there is a certain level of just like going platinum or gold or whatever. There are certain tangible things that are just realistic milestones, you know what I'm saying, that you would like to have. But if you don't get it, it's not like your career was for nothing. You know what I'm saying? So chasing numbers are just another goal you can set. You can chase, because it's tangible. You can't say, oh, I want to have impact on the greater whole of society. That's not, you know what I'm saying?
It's not
That's so
defined. So
it's in the
Yeah.
cloud. You know what I'm saying? It's
Yeah.
like it's pie in the sky. Like it's not to say you can't achieve that on a certain level, but sometimes you need tangible goals. Like numbers are
Yeah,
just a
it's
way to measure.
and it's like just being real again, like especially for men, we're virtuous creatures. We want to conquer. You know what I'm saying? Part of that is like setting your goals and crushing those. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Nobody's doing stuff without like having some type of validation, even if it's for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
The validation that I set a goal and I reached the goal that I reached. Part of the reason why people like hate work and hate going to work and stuff like that is because they don't get acknowledged for the work that they do. They go to work every day and they work hard just to get a paycheck, but they don't get, like, let's say they made the company, hundreds of thousands of dollars, or or they improved like they don't get no acknowledgement for it. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? When you're doing stuff that you like to do, stuff that you want to do, like it's virtuous in the sense that you created something.
Mm-hmm.
You
And straight into
created
the
that
living.
music.
I
Yeah.
wanted to address this comment. Many people will turn their passion into a career, and it no longer is a passion. It's just work. So yeah, it happens. It does happen, but let me tell you, that's nothing to fear, bro. If you ever get to a point where your passion turns into work and you hate it, you just stop doing it. You feel me?
Yeah.
Like it's really like you see people pivot and change directions all the time. It's not like this crushing thing like, oh my music career is work now. You don't get depressed over that.
You
You know
know
what I mean?
what?
I mean, I'm sure someone has, but when you get into those predicaments is when you start depending on it. Like
Yeah.
when you start depending on people to uh when you start depending on your creative aspirations to support everyone, you don't want to let everyone down. That's usually where it comes from, where people are like, oh, I don't want to let my agent down and my lawyer. And nah, at some point you have to be selfish and you have to say, yo, I'm not doing this no more. This is not creatively where I want to be. I'm pivoting this direction. I want y'all to get behind me. This is for people who have
And
teams,
that
right?
and
You
that's
make
the
that
that's the
decision.
what's the name? That's the power that you have when you start something that's yours. Like when you go to work, you don't have that power to say, I'm not doing this because, you know what I'm saying? I mean, you can quit, but then your money stops. You know what I'm saying? Like when you do creative stuff, you can keep money going, like without, like, YouTube is like a something that you can create residual income
B.
from,
Jamin says people get depressed all the time over success. They don't, bro. People get depressed. That's not success. Success is doing what you love doing and being sustainable at it. I mean, success is different for every person. But what I'm trying to say is what you're talking about is not success. That
It's
is
like I'm talking
called
about.
that
Go ahead.
that's called not having control over your life. If you get yourself see, and here's the other thing, right? Here's the other thing about life I think people have twisted: contracts and stuff like that. Like you get yourself into these obligations. Yo, there's not a contract in this world that you can't walk away from. Period. Like if you're a multi-platinum artist and you see this happen too, and nobody talks about this. Like there's artists who legit multi-platinum, whatever. There's so many artists who be like, oh, they fell off. They didn't fall off. They stopped wanting to do it and they took their wealth and they left. You know what I'm saying? It's there's no one shackling artists making them continue to make music. Even when you're in a big time contract or whatever, some people be like, oh, well, the label can sue you for non-performance. They're not going to do that, bro. They'll make sure because you got artists that just stop wanting to make music because they don't like their label situation, and they'll stop making music for 3, 4, 5 years, whatever, and then they'll come back, and then it's like they'll find a way to make it work. The label is, has a new label head or something, and they want to go, to a different label, and the original label will be like, oh, well, you got to pay us this amount of money, and they just work out some kind of deal on the back end. That's like a super technical way of answering the question. I mean, answering the comment. But what I'm saying is, when you're a creative person and you're what you want is going to change, it's going to pivot. The only people that get depressed over their situation are the ones who don't realize they always have the power in this situation.
Yeah.
You always have, at the very least, as a human being, you have the power to say no. I'm not doing this anymore, and no one's gonna put a gun to your head. You know what I'm saying? Like, unless it's like Tina
And
Ike
just
Turner maybe.
and just chasing the wrong things though, because this is what I tell you, a lot of people do stuff, and Gary Vee talked about this too. People chase a lot of things just for the money. You know what I'm saying? Just for what they think money is going to bring them and stuff like that. That's why you really need to have a conversation with yourself and figure out what your level of success is, because like you said, like success is subjective to the person. I just
Hmm.
want to have enough money to take care of my bills where they're on auto pay, and then have the time to do the things that I want to do with the people that I love.
Hmm.
If I can reach that, then I don't like necessarily need to have any more. But some people, they start to get the money and stuff, and like, or they start to get like a certain level of like, fame and stuff like that, and it goes to their head, so they want more, and then
Hmm.
they end up finding out that that's not what they really wanted. So
Yeah.
you have to be real with yourself and figure out the things that you want. Like, even though I'm not where I want to be in life, I am very content with, just owning this little house that I have. And because I never had it before, and this was one of my goals. But if I'm just stuck right here, if I never go, I'm happy, because my job is flexible. I have days off. I get to spend time with my kids. You know what I'm saying? That's like these are the things that I want to like continue to have,
it's,
So
it's perspective. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? At the end of the day, it's perspective, and how you view things. Happiness is really a personal decision, and that's always been like my philosophy. Like, there are things that can get you down, obviously events that happen in life, but as far as controlling your own life and your own destiny, really it's just you might disappoint some people, you know what I'm saying, by making your own decisions, but ultimately you just have to make a decision. It's always easier said than done, you know what I'm saying, because
yeah,
I struggle with that too, like with family and saying, look, I need this day for myself. And you think it's going to be this big thing, when you say you can't come through for someone, and who is depending on you or whatever. And that's really what it is. A lot of it is social pressure that people get depressed about, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, there's different ways of looking at it. I just want to shout out W Sky Sound. Appreciate the super chat. Shout out to y'all. Shout out to you. Nah, I
yeah.
appreciate you for real.
Thank
That
you for the super chat, man. Thanks for
I'm normally really bad with super chats, man. So I'm trying to get better at it. So I really appreciate that.
yeah,
Um,
it's
but
you
no,
know
you were gonna continue on that.
I'm just saying, man, like people just have to have realistic like of ideas of where they want to go, and like what means, because and this I because I lost it, and it came back to me. But also, like, taking your time, because a lot of people that I see who are like who get depressed and stuff is when they like achieve things too fast too.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the journey is like, I'm glad I didn't like achieve a certain amount of success or whatever, as you so say, like early in life, because I would have just blew it, and then I probably would have been depressed in this person. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like pacing yourself and like building a strong foundation for yourself, because that's the thing too. It's like, if you have a strong foundation to stand on, like, it's easier for you to make those decisions to walk away and do stuff if it's not fitting into like
Mm-hmm.
the metrics of what you want your life to be. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of people go on stuff and they build it way too quick without having a strong foundation. And then when it all falls. And then that's what
Mm-hmm.
leaves you depressed. Or maybe you're up there and you're dependent on it, like you said, and you can't make those decisions. That's like going to work. You go to
Yeah.
work because you have to go to work. You don't go to work because you want to. You have to pay the bills. That's the reason why everybody goes to work. It's not something that they necessarily want to do every day, but you have to do it because that's the choice that you have. Now, people who are entrepreneurs or people who have multiple streams of income and have like these strong foundations that they've set can walk away from their job, or they can say, I don't want to do this business over anymore because I have these other forms of income, you know what I'm saying, coming in, like different stuff like that. When you have that power, then you can be happy because you don't never have to make a decision that you don't want to make. And there's a lot of people that we see, like even when we went to this conference, that like legit seem pretty happy. They love and enjoy the stuff that they do. They're at a certain level of success, but they're, they enjoy it. I don't see
Yeah.
no people who are depressed, you
I
know what I'm
think, and
saying?
that's what I'm saying. The definition of success has to include your own happiness. If your own happiness and your own fulfillment is not part of the equation, then you're
Yeah.
not successful. So you could say, someone sold so and so amount of records, but if they're not fulfilled artistically or creatively at all, then they're not. It's not really a success. You know what I'm saying? It's success for some people, but for them personally, I can't say that it is. But I wanted
Yeah.
to address a comment. Elfear said, and I hope I'm pronouncing. I don't know if it's fires or fears. My bad, bro. How do you guys set time aside for everything consistently? How do you allocate your time to consistently do what you do? I know, so treat it like a 9 to 5, and then shut off for the day. I think, I mean, it's an ongoing challenge for anybody creative. There's no real answer for, because we're all at different stages of consistency too. You know what I mean? Even like me, I'm not making as many videos as I was making 2 years ago. But I think what I've gotten better at recently is, I mean, because life happens. There's different things going on in life and in life at any given time, and you have to make decisions and priorities and stuff like that. But I think one just like super practical thing is, everyone who expects things from you, like my phone's constantly ringing all the time, like friends, family, business opportunities. Sundays, I just turn my phone off, yo. I put it on do not disturb, and I put it off to the side. And it's kind of turning into like a habit where I'm doing it like more than one day a week now, because I made the decision that I'm only going to pick up the phone on days that I want to do business. If I'm not doing business, whoever's around me is who I'm spending time with. And that's, my kids, my wife, we have guests at the house or whatever. That's who I'm spending time with. I'm not talking to anybody about business, none of that stuff. Don't even contact me. And I'm not telling people not to. I'm saying like I'll get back to on Monday. You know what I'm saying? So think about it this way. If you joined like a bowling team and their practices are Tuesday and Thursday, one way or another, bro, you're going to find time Tuesday and Thursday to get to practice. It's just when you commit to something, commitment and scheduling are the same thing. You know what I'm saying? So when you commit to something, again, think about it like a bowling team or something, whatever guys do our age. You have to treat yourself and your creative aspirations like that. You know what I'm saying? You have to give it the same priority, and you have to condition people around you to give it the same respect. And it's not easy. Trust me. Like I'm going through it where it's like, you know what I mean? I've been in arguments with my missus and, with family. Like, look, y'all are not respecting what I do. This thing I'm doing, people are not going to get it, but you just have to put your foot down and say,
Yeah, you do.
this time and this time, I'm turning my phone off. Don't contact me. I'm going in this room, or I'm going to this building, or I'm going somewhere else. Do not bother me. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, for mental health and for your own mental health, you have to have a certain amount of time to pursue the things that you always wanted in your life. You know what I mean? And it just is what it is. You know what I'm saying? You have to make that a priority. So if it's one day a week, like my thing was like, yo, Sundays, just give me Sundays, and that's been working really well for me. You know what I'm saying? It's been working really well because I know at the very least this day I'm going to be able to do this podcast, which is super important to me. And then I'm also going to have a little bit of study time, and I'll be able to mess around with this piece of gear. It might not be like a super work day, but it's a personal day for me where I can do this, you know what I mean, and work on other things. So that's where I'm at with it right now.
And
What
I'm
about
a
you?
double down on like the fact of like what you said, like just getting rid of like of distractions, right?
Mm-hmm.
because like this is the biggest thing for people too, is people will set time aside to do things, but then they have like all these things that stimulate them around them. If you're a person like me, I feel like I have, you know, ADD or ADHD or something. I'm hyper and just want to like mess with anything that lights up or something, you know what I'm saying? Like it makes it hard. But if you can set time to the side and then like have no distractions, you'll be surprised of how much work you can get done with just a certain amount of time. There's people who literally like get like more and like what more done in like 2 hours than like somebody who worked like a 6 to 8 hour workday, you know, just
Hmm.
because they took that full 2 hours and they optimized their time. So it's about it's about trying to be proficient in the things that you do too, coming up with a process of how you do things and like perfecting the process, you know what I'm saying? Because you really can get a lot of stuff done. I was surprised at how much like when I because I do a lot of things at night too, because that's when I have the less stimulation. That's when I have like kids not messing with me. That's when it's quiet. Nobody's, you know, I don't hear nothing. You know, I can cut my phone off. Nobody's on, you know, Facebook. I just like most of the time, like when I want to get creative, I have to like delete all social media off my phone. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Because that's
a
that's a
lot of it
huge
is not.
distraction.
Yeah, a lot of it is not
Yeah.
other people slowing you down. It's you slowing yourself down. I'm like, I took Facebook off my phone like maybe a year ago now, and I had Facebook on my iPad, but I kind of compartmentalized things where it's like, because you know the NPC gang group gets a little rowdy. I got to go in there. I got to moderate and do all this stuff. Speaking of moderate, shout out to Ghetto Styles. He was like, "Yo, moderate." So I made you a moderator, bro. I appreciate you. That's the first time I ever made somebody a moderator, so I'm excited. I feel like a real YouTuber now. But
Yeah, we keep getting these little sex things coming through here.
yeah, these
That
little spam bots, man.
yeah,
That's a
we
sign of
made it.
success, I guess.
We
Yeah, we
made it,
made it.
man.
You know what
We made it. We
I
got the little sex bots in here, man.
mean? But yeah, I think like, I mean, it's not even I think. I know for a fact that I was spending way too much time on Facebook. I still do. I really don't need to be on there at all. I'll be wasting time, even though I'm moderating and I'm engaging with people, and I appreciate that part of it. But I know I get pulled into these political conversations every now and then. I'm like, what are you doing,
It's
Sight?
a
Like,
rabbit. It's a
I,
rabbit hole, man.
I just delete my comments sometimes. I'm like, yo, shut up. Like, just get out of the conversation. Like, self talk. And I'm like, if I really accounted, when I started looking at my iPad when they did the update where it's like it tells you how much screen time you have and which apps you're using, and I started looking at my weekly screen time for social media, I was like, yo, I just stole 6 hours from myself this week because I know only probably say it was 8 hours. I know only two of them was interacting with people. Six of it was probably like, I mean, given when I'm on Facebook now, I'm on Marketplace looking at guitar pedals I shouldn't buy.
Yeah, I'm
But
telling you.
but it's the fact that like I'm spending time on a platform that should be more outgoing.
Hmm.
Like I should be on there putting out more content. And when I do, I have, there's nothing wrong with putting something out and starting a conversation on your page. You know what I mean? That's good. That's good brand building, but it's also just building your community and kind of building your circle. But if you're getting into these like heated debates and conversations, a lot of times you're probably spending 3, 4,
Yeah.
5, some people more than that hours a week arguing with strangers.
Sean Cannell said it the best, man. He said you want to be like you want to be a producer, not a consumer. It's like a
Mm,
lot of us are still like stuck in the consumer part because that's what we started out as. You have to transition into being a producer. You know what I'm
mm-hmm.
saying? Like I'm the same way with like with YouTube, man. Like I'm not on Facebook as much as I used to be because I've been conscious about it and stuff, but I still spend hours on top of hours on YouTube watching videos when I should be making videos. You
You'll
know what I'm
never
saying?
produce as much content as you consume.
Yeah.
But if you can produce, let's say if you have 4 hours of free time in a day and you can produce content or something of value for at least 1 hour, that means like 25% of your time is being used productively. And believe it or not, that's more than a lot of people. Some people just consume all day.
Yeah.
They just scroll, scroll, and they don't put anything out, to add to the conversation or add to their what they're trying to accomplish. And that's a huge lost opportunity, and we all are guilty of it. You know what I mean? So I would say, getting back to the comment or the question, how do we, for me, it's been watching my diet. It's been watching my time diet. Like, how much time am I spending on useless activities, and how much time am I spending doing creative stuff like this? Like, it's a conversation that, with my friends and with my community, and it's adding, you know what I mean? It's adding to the value of like the time that I'm using it productively. So if you can start to create these situations for yourself where, when you are having conversations, they're productive, you know what I'm saying? And how you really do that is you just surround yourself with better people. And when I say better, I don't mean in a sense of like people are good or bad. I mean people who are better for your goals. If you're a producer and say if you want to work on your guitar, you need to start hanging around with people who play guitar all day. That's all they do all day. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean? If you need to learn how to mix, you might need to go to like a local studio and ask the intern. You know what I'm saying? And some of this stuff is like you're an older guy, right? Like I'm 42, and somebody my age might say, I'm not interning. What I look like, bro? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
it'd be the same people saying like, "Yo, if I have to, if it feels like a job, I'm not doing it." I'm like, "Yo, like if you really love something, go put in some work in
Yeah. Go
that.
put in the work.
Yeah, go put in the work because it's gonna make you better at your craft." I think these are things that seem like out of the ordinary or average people just wouldn't do, but yo, it's really a hack. Like if you love something, just really put yourself around people that are doing it all the time, and you're naturally going to be in a better position, whether it's online like we're doing. I'm hanging around two producers that I appreciate, whose content I love. Like, I created this situation, like reached out to these brothers, and we set this up so we could do this dope stuff every week. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's really a matter of just initiative, like creating situations. And bro, if nobody tuned into this, I would still be having a great time talking to these dudes and getting value out of these conversations, even if the audience wasn't here. But I just love the fact that there's an audience too, and then y'all, it's not really just like an audience; it's our community, and y'all are
Yeah.
jumping in the conversation and adding value to it.
And what's funny too? It's like these conversations are crazy because like even before we get on here, it's like we have like a whole mini conversation. So we've really been live for like, or we really been doing this for like over 2 hours, probably. You know what I'm saying? But it's like what you said, like the importance, like in order to be consistent at doing things is you have to change a lot of things, right? That's why I said that when you do stuff at some certain points it's going to be a job, you know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Because like you said, like you have to be mindful around the people that you hang around,
Mm-hmm.
the people who are taking your time, the people who are doing like that's stuff that's conscious.
Not
That's
taking your
that
time, the people you're giving your time
Yeah,
to.
you're the people that you're giving your time to, you know what I'm saying? But
Mm-hmm.
that's conscious,
Yeah.
that's kind of like a job. It's
Yeah.
conscious, you know what I'm saying?
And Immersive says
um
finding a way to make responsibilities into fun is the only way to be consistent. And
yeah,
yo, that's a super powerful point,
it
because
is.
if I'm watching my kids and I'm thinking about it as a chore, it's like I'm gonna try to get out of watching my kids constantly. But if I watch my
Hmm.
kids and I'm enjoying the time, and I'm finding fun games to play with them, and just like appreciating them growing and watching them do all this crazy stuff and make it into kind of like entertainment and fun, then I want to spend my time with my kids a lot more often. You know what I'm saying? So that's right, man. That's that perspective is definitely everything. It's definitely everything. So
And
I
that
agree with that.
it is everything, because you know what I'm saying, perspective is what changes your thoughts on whatever you're doing, you know what I'm saying? Like I've been reading I've been doing a bad job of reading the Will Smith book, but I have been reading it. I've been trying to do better with reading things because I don't
Hmm.
read like that, right? So I got the Will Smith book, and the first story that he tells in the book is about how his dad made him build this wall, right? There was a big hole that was knocked out of the wall, and he wanted them to rebuild this wall. Every
Hmm.
day, him and his brother, like they approached this wall like it was this great feat, because they were thinking about the end process or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And they was just putting a lot of thought into it. His dad came to him, and he was like, y'all focusing on getting the wall done. He said, just focus on laying one perfect brick at a time. And he said it changed his whole perspective of building the wall, because we're looking at this wall as this great big feat that we have to do,
Mm-hmm.
when if we just focus on laying one perfect brick at a time, like
Mm-hmm.
it'll eventually get done, and it's not so bad.
Yeah.
We put a lot of like emphasis on things that like haven't even happened yet, or things like we look at the work and we think that we can't get it done, when we just need to focus on laying one perfect brick at a time and having fun while we do it. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I'm saying? Enjoy the process, enjoy the things that you need to do to get that wall built. But if
Yeah.
you focus on the finished wall before it's finished, you'll never get there, because you'll always look at it as this great feat that you'll never
Yeah.
get done. Just focus on laying the perfect brick
Yeah.
and try to
Absolutely.
have fun.
And Dave Hates 808 had an interesting comment. He said the problem is the job, in quotes, has clients that are super funny with money, which is unique to the music industry. I am here to tell you, good brother, it is far from unique to the music industry. Every single client I've had in my branding business has been funny with the money. Business, uh, in general, is the process of overcoming people being funny with the money. But one solution you might want to look at, and it's going to be different for everyone, but this is how I overcame that issue. For the most part, I don't say it's completely overcome. I still have clients I have to work with that I don't think I have any clients right now that I don't enjoy working with, who aren't funny with the money. When what changed for me fundamentally a few years ago was, as a creative person, I made myself my best client, right? So what does that look like? All right, if you're a producer and you're tired of working with artists who are funny with money, right? Start making yourself the artist. This is, and it's funny because like so many people bash DJ Khaled, like, oh, he doesn't really do anything. Yeah, he made himself the artist. He knew how to put songs together. He got tired of saying, yo, can I make beats for your album? And he said, yo, I'm just gonna make my own album. I'll invite you to my album. Instead of
Yep.
me trying to get on your album, you can
I'll
come to
invite
my
you.
album. So I'll make my albums first. I'll put who I want on there. And of course, he wasn't getting Jay-Z and, you know, Beyonce and, all these tier one artists. He wasn't getting them in his early career. It was like Fat Joe and, you know what I'm saying? People that he was cool with, people in Miami, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And he was working with them first, and it
It
built
just
up. It built up. But he made himself his biggest client. And there's a little bit like, okay, going back to last episode with Stu Bangers, right? I think people kind of missed out on what he was saying. He's got an album with Capadonna from Wu-Tang Clan. That's his album. He funded it. He came out of his pockets, agreed on, he didn't get into details, which is smart man, but, did the business with Cap, like, yo, let's do this album together. You'll get this percentage. I'll get this percentage. He's coming out of pocket to get the promo stuff done. If you get tired of working with other people, just start being your own client. You know what I
yes.
mean? That's Stu Bangers becoming his own best client. Yeah, I can make beats for so and so or so and so. I can try to sell beats to them, or I can make my own album. I'll go to one particular artist, say, look, this is what I bring to the table. I'll bring all these beats to the table. You bring your rhymes to the table, and let's split the proceeds. You know what I'm saying? And you know what I'm saying? You stand to make money. I stand to make money, but I'm taking all the risk. And that's really the difference between being a business owner and taking risk, and being kind of like an employee. An employee doesn't really take any risk. They're hoping someone pays them for what they're worth. A business owner is going out and they're investing in themselves and taking a risk. Like, yo, I know what I'm worth. I know it's going to get something back, but it's a process. You know what I'm saying? It's not, being a business owner is not easy. So what I'm
Yeah.
saying is, like, that's not exclusive to the music industry. All type of industries, people don't want to pay. They don't want to pay you what you're worth. That's,
And
I mean,
and we
that's
talked we talked
every
about this.
industry.
We talked about this. This is part of the reason why, me and like part of the biggest reason why me and Sight ain't recording and like working with like a lot of artists and stuff now, is because of that process right there. It's like once you figure out that you can brand yourself and be a brand, like that totally changes the perspective on things. You know what I'm saying? Like we look at ourselves now as a media company. We're not even really like, like producers or whatever. Like we're a media company now.
A
You know what I'm
media
saying?
company first.
Yeah, a media company first, and then everything else falls second, or after that. But it's us bringing awareness to us. You know what I'm saying? Like when you're doing stuff, when you're out there working with other artists and you're doing it, you're bringing light to them. You
Yeah.
know, you have to focus on building building your brand first. You know what I'm saying? And we
Because
see
it has
this a
so many
lot in,
benefits. Yeah, it has so many
yeah,
benefits. When you build your brand as a producer and you work on yourself, and you don't have to do it the way we do it. You can kind of put your own spin on it. But
yeah,
if you're good at performing or something, like like Beats by Jay Black, right? He's not doing a dad beat show, but he's finger drumming, getting crazy views. So now when he has interactions with producers, it's a much different conversation. It's like, bro, I got like 400,000 followers. How many do you have? The artist is like 1,000. You know what I'm saying? You got to pay me, bro. You got to pay me. Like
yeah.
I'm bigger than you. You know what I mean? It's not like cocky. It's just like I've built up my brand, and
What you're bringing is you're creating metrics. You're creating ways and reasons why people want to come work with you
you're
versus
getting
you
your
having to
stock up,
search.
yo.
Yeah.
If you're tired of having conversations with people who don't want to pay you, that means you need to get your stock up, because then
Yes.
people will come to you with a bag. I'm just telling you from
Hmm.
personal experience. Like I have people that reach out to me like, yo, bro, how much to produce my whole album? I'm like, yo, I'm not doing that right now, but I appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? It's maybe one day I'll do that. You know what I mean? Maybe like in a couple years after my brand gets to a certain point where I feel like it'll be worth the money to do that. But I'm trying to tell you, man, like the music industry is not that hard to figure out. If you build yourself up and you put in the work on building your brand up, it's going to be much easier to deal with people, and you'll start attracting better quality people. And I just have to Trips is in the chat acting up, bro. I have to.
Yes, a beard gang
Apparently,
unit.
we synchronized our beards. He called us beard gang unit. I was like, oh, okay.
That's
Well,
hilarious.
I'm trying to see the one he said. Did y'all synchronize your beards today? I was like, bro, beard sync on.
Oh
Oh
man.
man, Trips he be cutting up, man.
Thanks for the super chat too. You know what I'm
Absolutely
saying?
appreciate you, Trip.
Appreciate it. But it's like getting back to that, like like dang, I lost
You
I
lost
lost my
it.
train.
He
I
lost. It's
lost it
gone, yo. It was
because
there
yeah,
and it's
trips
gone.
trips got
Thanks
me
a
all
lot, Trips.
he
Thanks.
got me all messed up, man.
That's what Trip stands
But
for. Tripping
that's,
podcasters up.
no, it's
Living
it's just
Son,
it's just
Sarah the
important.
instrumentalist went a different route and didn't want to rock with rappers, and Epidemic signed her, and she's definitely in her own lane thriving.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Sarah,
bro.
yeah,
There's
she's dope.
shout
Yeah,
out to Sarah. She's official, man. Like
yeah, she is
there's
official.
so many
There's so many avenues and
avenues. Yeah.
things that you can do to like, and that's why I made a video on this. I said you
Hmm.
don't have to have like you are enough. You don't have to have placements to be successful. Everybody like equates the music business to being like to having placements and stuff like that. There's so many things you can do with music. Like if you really think about like the way that the world runs, like, there's so many things that music go into. People don't even look at the fact that you could start trying to do stuff for movies or TV shows or like things like that. Or you could just, what I'm saying, you can release your own music. You can do that. Or you can start a YouTube video channel and make your own music. Or you can, what I'm saying, do like music for like upcoming, like find somebody who's doing independent movies and try to like do the music for that.
Hmm.
Like a lot of independent movies, like some of those movies blow up, and then now like you get found out because of that, because you did all the music on it. Like
Hmm.
there's so many different ways that you can be a part of like the music industry without having to get you know just like
And it
that
ties
stuff.
into the consistency thing. It,
Yeah,
it just it all comes back
consistency.
to it, and then maybe we'll just put a bow on it, right?
Yeah, let's put
No
a
matter
bow.
what way you want to excel in your music career, you're gonna have to have some level of consistency, whether it's the Stu Bangers approach of I think Adrenaline said upload every 10
Yes.
minutes, his beats is fire. Yo, I mean, I'm sure it's rough for him to just like every time he makes a beat, like, ah, man, got to do a video for it. But it becomes repetition. After a while, it's like, man, this isn't, like, you don't even think about it. This show, honestly, the first couple times we did it was so nerve wracking because it's like we hadn't done it before. Now it's just like, yo, this is our Sundays now. This is what we do. So it's really just getting in good habits, creating good habits. That's really, it sounds, it's obviously easier said than done, but you can't create a habit if you don't do something and force yourself to do it even when you don't want to do it. And I think that's the kind of like takeaway is there is going to be times where what you love feels like work. It
Hmm.
doesn't matter what it is that you love. If you love it, just like I said, you're watching your kids, some people's like, it's the most work I've ever done. It's the hardest thing I've ever done. This is how I feel about it. It's the hardest thing I've ever done, but it's so worth it. It's the most rewarding job I've ever had. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Not financially, because having kids is taking money. It's not rewarding me with money, but it's
Yeah.
rewarding on a fulfillment level. And,
Yeah.
I think, just kind of like my kind of put a bow on the consistency thing. It doesn't matter if it's your full-time job or if it's your part-time thing that you just like doing on the side. If you don't consistently work at it, you're not going to get better. And if you don't have consistency as far as like forcing yourself to get, there's times I just don't want to be in the studio. I don't want to work on anything, but I force myself to get in there and at least turn my MPC on, load some drums up and just mess around with some drums, and something will come of it. You know what I mean? You just you and I'm the most like averse to schedules. I hate schedules. When somebody mentions schedule to me, I like tuned out and I went in another room. Now I'm starting to understand why. It's like, yo, when I schedule things, if you got a million things going on in your life, if I just schedule things, it forces people to respect it. Like, I
Hmm.
don't know what it is, but when I pull out my phone and my calendar is on there, like, yo, I got this on Tuesday, this on Wednesday, people are like, oh, okay. If you don't have stuff in your calendar, if you don't have something written down, and you just, people are like, what are you doing Tuesday? You're like, oh, I'm gonna try to do. No, 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 no. What are you
You
doing
went. You
Sunday?
just went.
Oh, I'm gonna try to do my podcast. Nah, Sundays
Just
I'm doing
winging
dad
it.
beats. Don't call me.
Yep.
Definitive.
Hmm.
Schedule some time definitively for what you love doing, and the consistency will start to happen. Put your
Yep.
foot down and say, I'm definitely doing this. Commit to it 1,000%, and the consistency will come. That's my takeaway from it. Where you at?
Mm.
Oh,
I'm the same, man. It's like, we have to get better at doing the things that we love, but you have to approach it with the mindset that, you have to there's going to be some planning around it. You know what I'm saying? There's going to be some things that you don't want to do that you're going to have to do, but the thing about it is that at the end of it, you're going to feel fulfilled. You're going to feel, a sense of you know, like that you achieve like a level of achievement. It's gonna do things to better your life, if that's what I'm saying. When you set goals and you crush your goals and stuff like that, it's gonna be a great feeling. And then, like, when you get to see like your dreams and the things that you've been working towards come to fruition, it's going to even be better. That's the
mm-hmm.
motivation that keeps you going. Like, if you set metrics and you're able to hit metrics and you get the fulfillment out of it, that's what motivates you to keep going and to do a lot of the things that you don't necessarily like doing, because you get the prize at the end of it. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Whatever that is, because it's different for everybody. So, don't set your metrics based on somebody else. Your metrics have to be purely the metrics that you set for yourself, what you want to achieve out of the things that you want to do.
And
Because what
metrics you're saying is basically goals, right? See, I'm more
goals.
I'm more artsy. You know what I'm saying? Even though I'm business now and I have a level of business. For those who are more creative and don't like business words like metrics, yo, I'm
Yeah.
gonna do a follow up video on my vision board. I'm gonna show y'all what hitting goals looks like, because I did this
Yeah.
vision board on my channel 2 years ago, and yo, when I try to tell you like the stuff that is coming off of this vision board, like in that I have in front of me right now, it's crazy. It's crazy. Like, and it seems like, you know, esoteric type stuff to some people, but putting your goals on paper, whether you're writing them on a whiteboard, on a piece of paper, or making a vision board with photos of what you want, your goals, I do all of them. I do all of them. I just bought like a sketch pad a couple weeks ago, and I just keep this with me, and I just write every idea I have down on it, every goal, and my goals might change week to week. I might just be like, I've got, some guests I want to have on Dad Beats on here.
Yeah.
I mean, it's arty and artsy in a sense of like, it's a sketchbook. So it keeps me on that creative artsy vibe, but I'm still doing something very tangible, which is like setting my goals on paper. If you don't commit stuff to paper at the very least, or a whiteboard or whatever, you don't write it down, there's a very big chance that it's not going to happen. You know what I'm saying?
And this ties into like a reason, because every single like what do you call that conference that I went to, or where successful people are talking, or they talk about a specific thing, and that's your why. Why are you doing the things that you are doing? Like, because like you have to figure that out too. Like, and that's part of the motivation too. Your vision board is your why, like in the things that you want to, you have reasons why you're doing the things. So like I think a lot of people do stuff and they don't understand why they're doing it too. You have to figure out what is the motivation behind what you're doing. We have our motivations. We want to create legacy for our kids. We want to put them in a position to, never have to go through the stuff that we went through. We want to provide for our families. We want to achieve some of the goals that we have and get some of the things that we want out of life, but those are our whys. What is your why? What is the reason why you're doing the things that you're doing? Why do you have this passion, and why do you want to continue like going after this? Is it just for the money? Because if it's just for the money, then that's not, that's not going to sustain you, for a long
I mean,
term. It's not
money
gonna
is
it's not
like,
gonna give you it's
yeah,
not gonna give you the validation, and it's not gonna give you, because money is just one side of the coin, man. You also, as a human being, have to feel validated and love, and be around like the people that you love too. So you have to be doing it for more reasons than just monetization.
yeah,
you know
maybe. I mean, some people just, you can, I want $10 million, and then they'll just go extra hard until they reach it. You know what I mean? So, and
yeah.
they might be good. They're like, all right, I reached $10 million, I'm done. Some people,
Yeah.
some people, money is just, it's a great motivator for some people. For some
Well,
people, it's not.
yeah,
But
I guess.
at some point, if you no matter what the goal is, at some point, once you reach it, you're gonna want more. It's just our nature as human beings.
Yeah.
So I think definitely the thing is, you just want to definitely document what you want next, start getting after it, and you have to have some type. They say like, you can't get to a destination unless you mark it on the map first. You know what I'm saying? So even if you take a roundabout way of getting there, you at least have to have a destination. So, the biggest part of consistency for me is finding a destination, even if it changes later. Once I get there, I say, okay, now I want to go here. Just at least get a destination on the map, and you can start mapping it out how you want to get there. That'll all come. But you got to start with the destination. Like you said, the why, the motivation, why you want to get there. And those are huge, like, fueling points. So
And I see a lot of people in the chat right now. It looks like that they're doing that. I see Low Fire. He said he got a board out. Draining Beats. He's got his. He said he achieved his in a year and a half. He manifests everything on his
I'll
vision
break the vision
vision
board out
board.
next week
You
when
know what I'm
we
saying?
chop it up. And
But yeah,
if Masada's still in the chat, we definitely love to have you on, man. We'll get a dope topic together. But I'll share the vision board next week.
yeah. But I think that's a great wrap up to what we did. Like like everybody, you have to realize how important consistency is with anything, just to bring it full circle. You have to be consistent if you want to be successful. You know what I'm saying? Consistency is key, and like almost anything you do, if you want to do it well. So, you know, just try to be better at being consistent. Even if you fall short a little bit, as long as you're trying to and keeping it mindful to be consistent, then you'll see success and you'll see progress.
But
So
that'll be a consistent theme in this show, man. We're gonna find different ways, and that'll be a question I ask every guest. How do you stay consistent? Because I'm sure everybody's got some really dope hacks. So I'm looking forward to that. So yeah, man, we're gonna wrap up on that note. Shout out to everybody who tuned in today. I hope we got to all the super chats and engage with as many of y'all as we could. Excuse me, it's always over too quick, even though it was 2 hours and change. Shout out to Lift the Noise. I don't know if he had tech issues or his family came back home, but I'm definitely about to go kick it with my kids. But
Me
yeah,
too.
man, definitely a great time with y'all.
Thanks,
Catch y'all
thanks
on the next
to
stream.
what was Ghetto Styles helping us with the sex bots?
Yeah, I think Ghetto Styles is helping with the sex bots.
Hey,
We got to get Ghetto Styles on here too. So we'll get offline. We'll chop it up with you. But I would love to have Ghetto Styles in here, man. That's a wise brother right there. So yeah,
yeah.
man. Catch you on the next one. Masada next week if you're free, bro. Let's do it. All right. Peace.
Peace.